I'm in the headquarters of the Virtual Geographic League. It was from this very same building that some of the bravest adventurers in history set out to explore cyberspace.
Live from Austin, Texas, where if you think video games are a bad influence, you probably shouldn't watch Retro Pals with Danny and Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hello, Danny. We are the original bad influence. We are the worst influence.
Yeah, we're the original bad boys of streaming. I'm sorry, I couldn't get through that.
That's so not cool. No.
Try as we might, we will never be the original bad boys of streaming.
I honestly, I don't know if I'd want to be the original bad boys of streaming. I'd want to be a knockoff bad boy of streaming.
One of the sad boys of streaming. I think we can aim for that.
Well, I want to be a rad boy of streaming.
Okay. Well, we can work our way up to that from sad to rad.
Okay, we can do that.
Hi, everybody. It's Retro Pals. We're doing a special show tonight featuring an old TV show.
Yes.
A TV show from the UK aimed at children, so it's perfect for us. This is actually a really interesting show, and I've picked out a bunch of episodes that I think people might enjoy. So grab some popcorn, get an extra large soda, and sit down and enjoy some classic British television with the Retro Pals.
Before we get started, I'd like to thank Cinco Play for the 5-month resub. In the shower, Retro Pals go live. And then your phone got wet. Oh God, did you watch us in the shower? No.
Engage your favorite shower streaming device and watch Retro Pals.
I guess we're being watched in the shower. Oh shoot! Thank you, Cinco Play, for gifting 2 subs to the community. Welcome to the Sub Club Ultra Pancake and Bing Bing Wahoo Yahoo.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Let's get this started. I want to get this started like in record time because we're just going to be watching TV shows. So we took a poll to our patrons this week and we asked them, which would you rather see? Episodes of the classic U.S. television series Video Power or Bad Influence? It was 50-50 for a good long time. I saw both things come out ahead. And in the end, Bad Influence won by just a couple of votes. That shows you just how important voting is.
Please vote.
Thanks, everybody, for voting.
Thank you.
So, essentially what this poll is what kids in the early 90s would have seen after school. In the UK, you would have seen Bad Influence. In the US, you would have seen Video Power. They're quite different approaches. They're both shows about video games aimed at children. And, you know what? Why don't we get episode 1 of Bad Influence up and going?
Okay, let's go.
Oh, let me warn you, this first episode is pretty crunchy. The video quality is quite bad.
Oh, there we go. There we go, folks. There you go.
But the quality in future episodes will improve. So let's do this. You just came home from British kids school, and now you're watching a British kids show. You are enjoying the British experience circa 1992.
Congratulations, everyone. You're now British.
Now, karate to you all.
I love this. I just want to say the mascots are dragons, so I love this.
The only place you'll be able to see moving street
originally
shots
aired
of the very
in
latest
1992.
game. Check this out,
Yeah,
Streets of Rage 2.
There's a Streets of Rage 2?
And the main review this week is
There she
going
is.
back Caveman Ninja on the SNES. Our panel gives their opinion.
How British is it? Caveman Ninja for the SNES. That's how British we're talking.
And it's pretty dangerous work, I can tell you.
I want to go in that VR
Wright,
world.
our American reporter, and we'll be seeing more of Z, including the rest of his face.
Violet, you're breaking up.
Violet!
Violet, your signal.
If you're into
We're
computer
losing
games,
you.
then the Bad Influence Studio is the place to be. Why? Well,
Can
we've
I
got
go
such
there?
a range of equipment.
Yeah.
Everything from this,
Can you turn things up for
remember
us a
this,
little?
the 10-year-old BBC Micro, to the very latest
Look at that
in
dusty old
handhelds.
thing.
The
The old
Kate's got
BBC
here.
Micro.
This is called a Quick Shot Supervision. What are you playing on it?
I'm playing
The
Crystal
what?
Ball.
She's playing
Well,
Crystal
you've
Ball
got
on the
this video
Supervision.
somewhere.
Danny, they're
This
playing
one's
the
Neo
Supervision.
Geo, one of the most advanced consoles in the world. But as well as games, we'll be looking at the other amazing things computers can do.
Hold on.
Gina, our two Humanosaur characters in the video call, were created on a paint package like this one.
She is a real person.
If you
This
use
isn't an
computer
AI
painting,
going
you can do
rogue,
all the things that pen and
even though that's
papers
what it
can
sounds
do,
like.
And more. For example, I can do freehand drawing here, but then I can
See, this
choose
is
a
what's
square
most
brush
fascinating
and a
about the
bigger
show
brush,
to
any
me.
size
They
or
pinball
shape.
between all these different
And
subjects
there's different
super
colour at the flick
fast,
of a
so it
switch.
doesn't have time to get boring. And
that
often it
O's not
highlights
very
new
good
and
there,
emerging
so I can
technology
choose
in the early
any
90s.
shape I want,
So you get to see what reactions were to this technology as it
and get
existed.
the perfect
Nowadays, you can
circle
just
there.
open up MS
And then
Paint,
I
it's like
fill it
whatever.
in
But this,
really
you can draw
quickly.
on the screen.
And instead of using rulers for lines,
And we all sounded like this.
where you want your line to begin, where you want it to end, let go, and hey presto. And you can use this airbrush facility as well. Oh, got a mistake there. Get rid of it in a flash. You can
My God,
do
it's got an
airbrush,
undo
which
feature.
Basically is spray painting, which you definitely wouldn't be able to do at home otherwise.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
And one of my
This is
favourite
why
tips
preservation
called
is
colour
important.
It's so important. If you find
then you
a
can save it
well-preserved episode 1 of
or
Bad
print it
Influence,
out.
please tell the internet.
And keep forever. Actually, this one's not very good, is it? I think I'll give it to Andy as a present.
I like it.
I don't think Rolf
I like
has
Jack
too much to
Nass,
worry
sucked,
about,
I'm
has he? We'll be
sorry.
looking at other paint packages in more detail later in the series, including this, which is Super Mario.
He's drawing
Paint, which
Dizzy.
will be available for your SNES
Oh, it's
after
Super
Christmas.
Mario!
In the meantime, though, we do want to hear from you. If you've got computer-generated pictures, animations, graphics, anything we show on telly, we'll get this. Go on. The Bad Influence T-shirts. We'd
I
also
want
like
that
to hear
shirt.
from you. Well, if you've got any views
I
on
bet that
anything
shirt's
to do with
expensive
computer
nowadays.
games, consoles, video games, and we'll give you the address to write to at the end of the program. In fact, the address and loads of other bits of information will be in what we're going to call the data blast. To
Check this
access it,
out.
all you need is this,
the
your
data
humble
blast?
video recorder. Video the last minute or so of the program, including the credits, which is the boring bit where everybody who made the show's names goes across the screen.
Yeah, who
then
cares
when you've
about them?
done that, rewind it and play it back. But don't play it back at full speed, using your pause and your frame advance if you've got one on your video. Spool through it slowly, and up to 50 pages of information will be at your disposal, including, look at
Look
this.
at that.
Some
Data
excellent cheats. I
blast.
didn't know these Batman
It's telling you how to get a back door in Mario World. I'll have to read
Hello,
that
you
later.
slimy furtlers.
I like this
Now
guy.
Rood here.
Sorry.
If it exists, I've cracked it. And quite frankly, you haven't. Right, we're going to start with something really easy for those of you with small brains and blue hedgehogs. Sonic.
That's
When he
D.
appears on the
Namrud.
screen and waves his finger, press
He's Rood. He's
up,
the
down,
gremlin of the
left,
show.
Right, then quickly hit the A and start buttons together. All the levels are then listed on the screen.
Now
so
you
you
cheat,
can select
Sonic.
just which level you like. Violet, this is what level 2 looks like.
Oh.
Charming, that Namrud. You can't believe a word he says, except when it comes to tips and tricks. And there'll be more coming up in Data Blast at the end of the programme, so watch
That
out
guy's a
for
real
that.
gamer.
Now, every week we'll be reviewing the latest games. Our reviewers are all keen players, and they'll be trying out the games and letting us know what they think. This week's main review is Joe and Matt Caveman Ninja on the SNES.
Oh,
It's
look
a
at the
prehistoric
weird boxes they got over there.
box.
It's published by Elite.
Great fun to play. It's really fast. It's good graphics. Oh, I've just fallen down a hole.
Imagine a
When the
world where you
enemies
just
are
saw
running
Joe and Mac
angels
for the
from
first
the road,
time.
You jump over, you've got to hit all the
Andy, this
pterodactyls,
is,
falling down
this is
another
just
hole.
what we do.
Yeah.
Jump over. What you've got to do is you've got to kill all these Neanderthal
I think the next year of
cavemen.
RetroPal streams should
And
just
they
be
stole
like
all the
stolen
women's
content
back.
from Bad
So you've got to
Influence.
battle through each
See if
Hey.
anyone
to
notices
kill
the
that. There's
difference.
lots of good
Fire
things
Mountain,
to
thank you
do.
for the 29
Thank
months.
you.
Cooking people with your clubs.
Weird
Basically,
philosopher
you've
still
got to
undersided if
run
he's a
through and save
VTuber.
everyone.
I mean, I get a little bit of the vibe.
He's got
Okay,
the
now
transparent
level 6,
background. It
Wearing
counts.
Frozen caverns. I just picked up some rocks. They're different weapons. It's a great fun
Oh, those
game.
are wheels
The
which
graphics
cavemen
are smooth
invented.
and cartoony. The sound effects are excellent, especially on this level where it's
Allow me to backseat your cultural anthropology.
I hit 2 Neanderthal men with my rocks, and now I'm running up to get the bonus, which is extra health. All the platforms are slippery level, which makes it give that added realism.
Cartman, thank you for the 100
The
bits.
music
Thank
is different
you.
on every
I don't
level,
know. We
and
shall see.
That adds to the game. It makes it really addictive, and it's easy to pick up as well. It gets progressively harder as you go on. There's different dinosaurs, lots of different baddies, and it stops you getting
I like how he
bored.
just ran on that
And the
dinosaur's
good thing about
back.
this game is if you've got
Yeah,
a
I like
friend,
how we call
there's also
them
a 2-player
baddies.
option.
This game's cool. We should play it.
One of the best things about it is these end-of-level sprites. It's great
Haven't
fun
we
to
played
play,
this
and I'd
before?
probably buy it.
Oh,
Looking
maybe
forward
for
to seeing
Mascot
it on the
Friday.
Game Boy.
I'm pretty sure we ranked this.
I like the caveman idea, and the birds are brilliant.
It's a simple game, but it's really brilliant, and the graphics and sound are great.
I like how they get
Final
input
scores for
from a
Joe and
bunch of
Mac.
different age
The boys
ranges.
gave it 4
Yeah.
out of 5, and the girls gave it 4 out of 5.
And they ask kids who are boys and girls what they think
Yeah,
of the
they,
game.
they rank it by
Pauses.
gender.
Continues. The word of the week is level code. Well, actually, it's 2 words. It's
This
a way
week's
of
number one
jumping
gender
levels
is...
that you've already completed in a game. For example, this is a game called Dr. Franken on the Game Boy.
Dr.
At the start of the
Franken!
game, you can choose to enter a
We're all
level
clamoring
code.
for
Of
codes
course,
for Dr.
There's only 2
Franken.
ways you can discover the codes. After each level, they're displayed on the screen, or
I love when they highit
you can
games that
copy
were
this
much
down.
bigger
You'll
in the
start on level
UK
4.
and just
Try
had
acid.
no presence in the US
Hey,
whatsoever.
look, Andy, I'm on level 4.
It's very good, Violet. Time now for our first American report from Z Wright, who's on a sightseeing tour
I
of
just
Seattle.
realized his shirt
Well,
says juice.
Violet is a fashion icon.
I love Violet.
In addition
Berlin.
to an
Capital of
honorary
Northwest
queer icon.
America.
Yes.
She has
Often
many
called the
icons.
Emerald City, Seattle curves around the rim of Elliott Bay.
Now this is a cool feature. Every episode they have a guy called Z Wright take on some stuff from the US side of things. I like how they call him Z Wright instead of Z Wright because he is US based.
I think the guy actually is US just because he doesn't have an accent either.
It's a literal overseas correspondent who's also a kid.
That has to be my best sightseeing trip ever, and I didn't have to walk a step. That fly-through view of Seattle only exists inside a computer, but it felt pretty real to me. It's called virtual reality, and it's one of the newest ways for computers to present complicated information.
You gotta have pan flutes when you have
Until
virtual
recently,
reality,
you
it's
can
true.
only communicate with your
That's what's
computer
missing from
in a
VR
much more
chat.
boring way. Feeding it
Look at this
commands
early
to a
ass
keyboard or a
VR
mouse.
stuff.
For many
That's why I like
Oh
looking
my
at these
God, look at that
episodes.
controller at the ball.
Yeah.
Some people need to cope with more information than
Hello,
can be
I'm Albert
contained on
Einstein.
You really gonna have Einstein looking at you like that all day?
All day.
You gonna take off the
Actually,
VR helmet and
we're
that's the
with
first thing you
computer.
see after
The
9 hours in
roller on the
VR?
outside looking in. The images and sounds go straight to your senses, giving you a complete experience. There's one TV screen for each eye, and these are stereo earphones. And the knob on top of the helmet is called a
God, it's
pallina.
like hanging off
An
the
electric
ceiling. There's all
computer
these wires
that
coming
Look
off
at
of
the
it.
weird eyeball thing.
I love emergent 90s VR.
Oh, look at this.
And there's a whole series of commands.
You would have
that
had to
can
pay so
unlock
much money
secret
to
worlds.
experience this, and you would think you were a god for doing so.
I wonder if any of this is backed up or accessible nowadays.
Is it? I
Could be,
wonder.
could
The
could
data
not.
glove. It uses fiber optics to tell the computer which way you want to go. Up, down, forwards, or backwards. These
Shamu.
fantastic worlds are not just fun to
And
fly
Baby
in.
Shamu.
They demonstrate important new developments in computer science.
Do a
They were
trick.
made here at Seattle's Human Interface Technology Laboratory, or HIT-Lab.
Yeah, does the Valve Index
HIT-Lab
have
was set up because there was a demand for this
finger-based
technology
exploration
in
mechanics?
Many fields. Architects wanted it. Doctors wanted it.
Virtual technology allows scientists to get inside the human body. You can fly
Thanks
around
for the
inside
best,
a
Carmen.
perfect
Yeah,
replica
meta.
of a
This
human eye.
is a
Pulling
little
this
bit
off
better
and
than
you need to
meta,
get a
ain't it?
closer look.
It has more of a charm to it. Meta's
The
just
purpose
like
of the virtual
completely
eye was
charmless.
to eventually develop a simulator for eye surgery. We're doing this in conjunction with a group called Orbis International, eye surgeons that go around the world to various developing countries and do surgery on blind people and teach the local folks how to do these procedures.
I'm sorry, the eye
eventually,
looks like a delicious
people learning these
hard-boiled egg.
procedures
Alex,
will learn
you're
them
never gonna
in
be an eye
virtual
surgeon at this
reality.
rate.
They will
That's
go in
okay.
and
I'm glad
they
I'm
will
not.
see
I'm good.
what looks
Can't go
like
into surgery
a
hungry.
real eye, and they'll be able to practice and be able to correct their mistakes without
I'm
having
sure that was a
dire
medical
consequences
thing and
on
not
real
some kind of
people.
horror game.
This
It kind of looked
virtual
like they
model of
sliced open that
Seattle's
eye and went
Hanging Art
inside.
Gallery shows how VR can be used by architects to design buildings to precise scale. The virtual worlds give them a much better sense of real space than flat screen.
Yeah, nowadays we do surgery on a grape in VR. Look at that!
Wow,
The
that's
HIT Lab
me.
isn't just interested
VR
in
furries
pictures.
existed back then
Okay,
too.
that's
It appears to
cool.
come from the right direction to make the computer world seem much more real.
VR and furries go hand in hand. It's true.
It's true.
This shark hunt game uses
Danny,
3D
I regret to
sound,
inform
so the
you I
hunter can
found
work
the
out where the
bootleg
sharks are coming
Fortnite
from.
avatars in VR chat.
At the moment,
And now
this
I'm
is just
playing
a
more VR
prototype
chat
used
instead
in
of
science
Fortnite.
labs. But
Wow.
a big game company is
I wanna play
already
this
working
game. Look
with
at
the
this.
Yeah, this looks fun.
Who
Catch the
knows?
sharks.
One day
Shit,
you
though.
may
Are
take
those
a trip
sharks?
with Mario or Sonic.
Oh, those are sharks.
One day Mario or Sonic
The
might be in
future's
here.
looking really good. Instead of buckets and
I've
wires,
definitely
you'll
seen
be able
Sonic
to
in
slip into
VR.
cyberspace as easy as putting on a pair of specs. This is Z-Right for Bad Influence in Seattle. Sorry, in cyberspace.
Happening place to be. A very
Cyberspace.
happening place to be.
100 bits for
What
Bing
feels
Bing,
like
thank
normal,
you.
man? You might have thought that virtual reality
At
was
first it
more
was
realistic than
education,
that.
yeah.
The
Even
V
stuff like the
spectrum
Power
are
Glove was
exactly
originally meant
where
for
virtual
education
reality
in
is at
VR.
the moment. In the film, it's just special effects.
It's also very difficult to convey what virtual reality is really like on telly because it's a three-dimensional thing, and telly, of course, is only two-dimensional. But for what it's worth, take my opinion, it's excellent. Now on Bad Influence, this week's news.
I take your word for it, Andy. I believe every word that Andy says.
So much.
Sonic's back, and this time he's brought a friend.
Look at that big-ass ROM cartridge. Someone pilfer that and dump it.
Through lots of levels to collect rings. His foxy friend's called Tails because he's got two. And in the two-player option,
he has two tails?
And race through the levels.
Oh, is it a proto?
Okay. On the first game, and Tails can use both those tails and fly like a helicopter.
The finished version is scheduled for worldwide release on November the 24th.
So look out for that. Don't
Sonic
forget also
Tuesday.
the future entertainment show from the 5th to the 8th of November at Earl's Court. All the latest in video games and virtual reality will be there, and so will the Bad Influence film crew. Future will be hosting the first Bad Influence National Games Championship.
I bet there's more dumped than undumped Sonic 2 protos nowadays. They got the Nick Arcade one.
The finger fiddling and joystick juggling is well worth it.
Finger fiddling and joystick juggling.
In Super Mario Kart on the SNES. That fearless
Mario
plumber has
Kart?
taken to the racetrack
I don't
and
know. I don't think
brought
this is
his
going to work.
mushroom world friends and enemies with him.
Mario's been very busy as he appears again here in Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy.
You've been a busy little man.
Promises to have all the fun of Mario Land and more. This time you can see Mario.
Deserve quite a lengthy prison sentence, Mr. Man.
Some bunny ears.
Oh. If you still think gameplay requires too much effort, meet the Turbo Touch 360 control pad.
That thing sucks. Never use that.
How bad does it suck?
It's like
to improve your scores by
they say you just touch the thing, but no, you need to apply pressure to it. It's the exact same, except it's less responsive.
Streets of Rage 2, the unfinished version. All the street action you'd expect.
They got so many protos here.
Inside ordinary-looking objects. This 16 meg game.
As a filthy ROM dumper, I'm just salivating every time I watch one of these episodes.
Remember where you saw it first, here on Bad Influence. Now for some more games reviews.
First up this week is Puppy for the Amiga. It's a game like nothing you've seen before.
Yep.
A mixture of platform,
they review
puzzles,
Amiga
and
games.
adventure.
It's hard from the American side to really respect the Amiga nowadays, but I think this does a good job to put it in perspective.
And to take them back to the spaceship so that they can go back to the home planet. Putty's a bit hard to control because it does so many things. When
I hear clicking. I think they're making her actually play this.
Slimes.
I think so too.
That's pretty demanding for a little kid.
Because the colours make Putty stand out. And the background.
Howdy, Violet.
I see. Yeah, that would save you.
Wow.
That would save you from having to say the word Nintendo.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Also, if you are the real Violet Berlin, love your work.
Yes, huge fans here.
Trying to kill me. I'd definitely buy Putty, and I've already recommended it to one of my friends.
I have heard that Violet Berlin has a modern internet presence.
And sound, but underneath it's not a good game.
A true gamer, to be
The
sure.
graphics are really good, especially the cat, and it's not too fast, and it's pretty playable.
And the scores for Puppy, the boys gave it 2 out of 5, and the girls gave it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Girls are really into Putty.
Girls love Putty.
If you want to know what the deal is with the Amiga, ask girls.
Futuristic TV game show. It's already appeared in other formats. Here's Lakesh.
The graphics are kind of dull. The idea behind it is quite simple. Just
I see. Thank you, Corian.
This is the Mutoid Man, and he's the end-of-level guardian for level 1. To get through the level, it's fairly simple, but once you reach this guy, you need a lot.
Me and Alex
of
have
credits to
actually
get
watched
past
all the episodes of this show.
Yes, yes,
I've been spending
It's
approximately
really
10 minutes
interesting
just
from the
to complete this
perspective
guy, and
of
I'm not really
just
getting
what
very far,
kind of
so I don't really know
video
if I am.
game-oriented television shows were on for U.S. kids back then. We'll get a
I
little
don't
bit
really
of a
buy
glimpse
smart
of
TVs.
that
They're
later
better
on,
games out
but
for the games, yeah. And
to say that
personally,
this is
I've
more
got
sophisticated
Pac-Man
is an understatement.
Understatement. This one at least, this one doesn't feel like it's talking down to you, nor does it feel like it's just randomly screaming at you.
And it's still got the stuff that kids would be interested in, like reviews. And it's interesting that they interviewed actual kids for this.
Yeah.
Made them put their own words to it.
Battletoads for the NES. Here's Amanda.
Graphics on this are really fun. And cartoons.
Oh yeah, in
really
in
take your
season
breath
4
away
you were
from
in
them.
San
And
Fran.
one
That was
hidden
cool.
element is one
I
of the
remember
monsters.
that.
And you've got to kill it.
These kids are seeing
twice in order
Battletoads
it
for the
doesn't
first
die.
time.
And then you pick up its bones.
Imagine a world before
You can hit them with
Battletoads.
this instead. This is level 2, and the gameplay is
Nowadays, it's a
completely
fact of
different.
life. Everyone has a
The
Battletoads
graphics
opinion.
are really amazing. I mean,
At a
just look at
time,
the
though,
pictures,
that wasn't the case.
The music
It was a
isn't
rarity.
irritating,
It was a
which is really
rarity.
good as well.
This is where people would yell at you about Battletoads
Game's
pre-internet.
just amazing, and I definitely buy it.
The graphics are really good, but I'm not that keen on it. It's just gratuitous violence.
Wow!
Wow!
Graphics, this is a good game.
Hardline opinion.
And the scores for Battletoads, the boys gave it 4 out of 5, and the girls gave it 4 out of 5.
I love that one guy's like, no,
Yeah,
I hate
the
this.
teen was like, this is too violent, and then the little kid was like, it got good graphics, a good game.
Never share a joypad with someone who's been eating treacle sandwiches. Zool is the best-selling game this week on the Amiga.
Treacle?
And here's how to cheat it.
I don't know.
I've always wondered what treacle is.
Type in goldfish. The screen flashes. Well, it would, wouldn't it? Because you're now in cheat mode. Keys F1 to F6 let you choose any world that you want. There are some other cheats.
There's also the fact that US shows around this time were covering shit from LJN and Acclaim.
Thanks, Nam.
And meanwhile, they're
We'll be
covering
turning
stuff
up
from
every
like
week with tips and hints and
Ocean
tips.
and
But
Amiga
don't let that put
publishers.
you off. There'll be some interesting stuff too.
Yeah, we're going to be asking some serious questions of the game's manufacturers, like, why do console cartridges cost up to £65?
Yeah, what a
Bad
rip.
Influence isn't just about games. We'll also be finding out about all the other exciting things computers can do, like this, for instance.
And now for something completely different.
Try
Cool!
that again, and now for somebody completely different.
That wasn't quite as painful as it looked. It's a
Can they do that in the
computer
UK?
called morphing, which is short for metamorphosis.
I think so.
Oh,
You've seen it in
it's
commercials
technology.
or films.
Yeah.
This is Igor. Igor's brilliant. He's a very clever little robot. He learns just like we do by trying things out, making mistakes, and learning from them.
They
Later
got
in the
freaking
series,
killer
we'll
robots
see
over there.
he learned to
They're
hop
so
like
much
that
more
all by
advanced.
himself.
And
It took
don't
us
forget
how
the
many
Bad
years to get
Influence
Killer Robots
magazine
in the
available
US?
from mid-November. It's packed full of tips and reviews and info on the program.
Oh, right, there was a companion magazine as well.
Looks so
Except the
good.
competition. And the question is as follows. What are the names of our 2 Humanosaur characters? That's those 2 on the screen behind me.
Humanosaur.
The answer's not Violet and Andy, but if you think you know what it is, put it on a postcard or a stuck-down envelope and send it to us here at Bad Influence to reach us by next Monday, please. First out of the sack, we'll get a Nintendo Action Pack with Super Scope. But better than that, you'll get a Bad Influence.
Kill that
t-shirt as
cameraman.
well.
That's because he's
Don't
shooting
forget
my
to video
ass.
the data blast for the address. That starts in a couple of seconds.
And we'll leave you with a clip of Sonic 2. It's a very special secret level that only 2 people and a blue hedgehog know the code for.
See you Saturday, 9:25 for What's Up, Doc. Take care. Bye-bye.
I can't wait to get my hands on Sonic 2. They got 3D levels. There's games about battling toads. The future is here.
And don't forget about, stand by for Data Blast.
Yeah, everybody set your VCRs to record and then frame by frame this stream in order to see what's on the screen. I think this is a cool idea.
I love that it has previews.
As a huge nerd back then, I would have done this.
And charts. It has like a lot of data.
It really feels like this show is trying to cram pack as much information as possible into as short a time as possible to keep kids' interest. And that was episode 1. So now we move on to the final episode of Series 1. There's a bit of a time skip here. I handpicked a few episodes that I thought had the most interesting stuff in them. Oh yeah, those are their Humanosaur companions who review games.
They are wonderful. They are great. They are my favorite. They are
Welcome
probably
to
the
the
main
last
reason I
Bad
watched
Influence
the
of the
whole
series.
series.
Our main review is the long-awaited Lemmings 2 on the Amiga.
In
Lemmings
the last
2.
of his reports from America, Z. Wright builds his own virtual summer camp. We take a sneak preview at the latest in British VR. All this...
American versus British VR, let's go.
Let's do it!
We're gonna take on each other in the VR battlescape.
But before all that scrotty rubbish, bargains. Now this is the last episode, so I've decided to sell the shed and its entire contents. Here we have an antique.
We didn't get to see much of the
inlaid
Nam
Super
Rood story,
47
but
plate. What else have we got?
he's quite a character.
He's a nasty little freak.
He calls viewers scrotty furglers.
And here we have oh, it's a cheat for Super Mario Kart on the SNES. It gives you 5 brand new courses in the single-player time trials or the 2-player match race mode. All you have to do is on the course select screen, make sure that your arrow is pointing towards the Mushroom Cup option. And then you press left, right,
Yeah,
right,
slimy
left,
furtlers,
left,
scroggy
right,
furtlers.
right, and hit A.
He's probably
In
said
other words,
grotty
special
furglers
cup
at least at one
Move
point.
down to special cup, and you'll be able to select any of the 5 new courses. Here we go. Rainbow Road. Marvellous. And there it is. Ha! Now, I'm not asking for £1, I'm not asking 50p, I'm not even going to be here next week. So what will you give me for this marvellous cheat? Maybe 25p or...
This is the Barcode Battler.
I'd give
the
him
latest
25.
craze in
Barcode
Japan,
Battler.
which is apparently even outselling the Game Boy. Barcodes are those
It's
black and
outselling
white
the Game
stripes
Boy.
that you get on all sorts of products that let the town
Scrawny,
know what the
that's
price
good.
is.
I love that this show had its
The aim
own
of the game
vocabulary
is, of course,
and
to save
characters.
the world. To do this, you can enlist the help of various wizards and warriors. For example, if I chose Jawbreaker, if I turn it around, you can see on the back there's a barcode. And I can put this barcode into the barcode
Thank you, Inari
reader
Fox,
on the
for
machine.
the raid. We are watching
And
Bad
you can see
Influence.
it's allotted me 4,000
Hey,
energy,
welcome.
1,200 attack,
This is an
700
old
defense.
British television show
Now,
about
the Barcode Battler will come up
consoles.
with
I
an
say it's
enemy
old, but I
force and
lived
give
through
them a
this,
certain
so.
amount of points. And then it'll start a battle. And the aim of that is I've got to get the enemy's points down to 0, the energy points, and keep my
Now, this
energy
thing was
points
way
full.
bigger in Japan than it
To
ever
help
was
me, I've got all these
overseas.
cards, power-ups and special
I
weapons
could
and
have
the
sworn
like.
there was Japanese on
Now,
the back of that
so
card.
far, so exciting. But the reason this is really popular is because you can cut out the barcodes on various groceries and use those to give you energy and
Weetabix,
warriors
that's so
and the
cool,
like.
sorry.
You get superpowered
For example,
And they got
Weetabix.
to cut the Heinz baked
barcode
beans.
gives me
Alex is
4,000
marking
energy
out.
I'm
points.
sorry, I'm so it's really
To be
it's
outdone, you
British.
can now buy this in Japan. It's called the Barcode Boy. It's an add-on for your Game Boy and will cost about £45. But before you start saving up, I should tell you there are no plans to release this outside Japan. This is the only one in the country at the moment. Not as popular as I might have thought, though, because, well, all the instructions are in Japanese and nobody here can figure out how to use it. Our main
Wow, they
event
really
is
screwed that one up.
Lemmings
This is
2 on the
story of
Amiga.
our
The first
stream.
Lemmings was that rarest of things, a totally
At a
original
time, there
game
was
and made itself
multiple
a very
competing
hard act to
barcode
follow.
reading
Yes, I know
devices
there have been
for
lots of
video
other
gaming
reviews for Lemmings
purposes.
2, but you can safely ignore all of those except ours. Why?
Let's bring it back.
Well, all the other reviews were based on an early demo disc. Our reviewers
Scan
were the first
Weetabix
people
to
see
unlock
full
the
game,
monster
and here's what they
Beetabix.
thought, starting with Amanda.
Beetabix.
This game's a lot better than the original. You have 12 new tribes, and you have 42 extra
She
skills.
should have just ended the
And
review
this makes
there.
the game a lot
Yeah.
more exciting.
I've never actually played Lemmings 2.
Before you start the game, it's important that you look around
I have
so
a
that you
feeling
know
this
where
was-
you're going.
I get the feeling this was more of an Amiga thing than a console thing.
The game's still the same, and you've got to get the lemmings back to their home. And the music's really good because it actually
Lemmings
goes with what the
2
tribe is. Like
slaps,
this tribe
okay.
is Scottish, and it's got Scottish music.
I have heard it's good.
This is fast forward, where you can speed them up so that it doesn't take so long. I have now opted for a spinner.
The other thing about
Here's things to
US
the ground, but to
video
do this, you need
game-based
to get
shows at the
fan.
time is that they were all console-based.
And you point the fan
Occasionally
in
you'd
the
get like
direction where you
a
want
DOS game
the
or
lemon to
something,
go.
but in this show you really get to see what it was like to have the
The good thing
Amiga
about
as a
this lemmings
presence
is that they don't
in
die
the
when they
gaming
drop a long
sphere.
way. They just get a bit dazzled. I've now put it on fast forward again.
Sorry, just the way they're
There's
all
something
saying,
in my way,
"Ow,
so
I
I'm
love
just going
it."
to have to
I just
bang
think
that
that's
out the way.
valuable because when you load up Amiga games nowadays, you just have
fast-forward it again so that
no
they go back home.
point of reference for anything.
Yeah, it's good to get the cultural context
If you
for one who
preferred the
plays
original
Amiga
lemmings,
games.
without the set dressing and the ethnic tunes, there's a classic tribe.
Instead of just being like,
This is like
wow,
from
this
Lemmings 1.
is a game.
You have the diggers and the climbers.
Wow, this sure is a
but you
game
still
with a
have the extras
caveman.
from Lemmings 2, like the fast forward. This is well worth buying, even if you have the original. It's a massive game, and I can't wait to get it.
I'd certainly buy this game, so I won't give it full marks. Despite all the new improved features, it's still basically the same game.
It's a must for puzzle fans. And so the final scores for Lemmings 2, the boys gave it 4 out of 5, and the girls gave it full marks, 5 out of 5.
Wow, big showing for Lemmings.
Ah, there you are, Furlers. Now, it's the end of the series, and you're going to have to go out
Ladies
into the
love cool
world.
lemmings.
And obviously, you'll be worried about your spots and pimples. Now, this is my alternative, right-on homeopathic spot remedy. I made it by recycling some of the shed stuff, though. There we go. Just about right. You use 568.
He's got a regular witch's brew going on there.
Then salt, pepper, and
Gamer's brew.
porridge to taste, and any other bits and pieces that you find lying around. No. Right, and then you simmer gently on a low heat and smear
That's true, Misty,
casually
yeah.
on
Looking
your
back at footage like
spot,
this, you can especially see
that.
just how much of a presence
And leave
computers
for
had.
about 4 months, and your spots will completely heal up with no side effects. Which reminds me, this is a cheat for Echo the spot-free dolphin on the Mega Drive. If you want to get to Big Blue, who lives about 3/4 of the way through the game, simply type in
Wait, that's a
this
real hedgehog.
password.
Yeah, it's just chilling out.
A-R-N, kiss, R-E-T. And there you go. Oh dear. Too much porridge, I think. Oh.
It's that time again. Every year, American kids are
I was
sent off
hoping he would
in
kiss
droves
the
to that
hedgehog.
great U.S. institution, summer camp. Even my home state of New York has 2,000 of them. Nobody escapes. Usually
glad
it
we
means
both
lots
love
of
the
character
Gremlin
building
Man.
outdoorsy stuff. I mean, it's not my
I had a
style.
feeling he'd be
I'm
a big
from
hit
Queens,
with this
New
crowd.
York City. Please.
Hey, Revenant. Yeah, you missed the premiere episode,
This
but
year,
luckily all
it's
the
going to
episodes
be
have much
different.
better video quality
I've
from
come
that
to
point on.
Seattle in the beautiful Pacific Northwest of America, home of the world's one
It's
and
back in
only
Seattle.
virtual reality summer
So
camp.
Z Wright liked his
And the
VR
structure
experience
this
so
week
much
that
he
we'll be
decided to
looking
start an
at
entire
is
summer
virtual
camp about
reality.
it.
By the end of this week, we'll have built
That's
our very
amazing.
own world.
He was
No
like, this is
mosquitoes,
big.
no
We have to
rope
go big with
swings,
this.
And no half-cooked food.
Okay, well, let's get started.
This summer camp is run by the
There it is
Human
again, the
Interface
raccoon,
Technology
same picture,
Lab,
love it,
or
love the
HIT Lab,
raccoon.
at the University of
Guys,
Washington.
Einstein
It was
is
set
still
up
there.
3 years ago to find some practical uses for virtual reality. Since then, they produced everything from virtual
again.
human bodies to virtual landscapes of the whole of Seattle. Meanwhile, back at the summer camp,
That's
we've
true. I
decided
guess
that our
nowadays you can just
perfect
have a
world
VR
is a
summer
peaceful
camp in your
rainforest.
own home.
The first step is to plan the objects for the world on paper.
We should make that fish a movable object.
Danny, did you ever go to summer
What do you
camp?
have, Z?
I did not.
Me either. It's one of those things that's
Okay, yeah,
omnipresent in
and with
kid
the
stuff,
waterfall,
but,
we
like,
might try
I don't know
to
anyone
do
who
some
went to
change in
one.
color. See how that works out.
The next
unpaid
thing we
R&D
do is
summer
put the
camp,
drawings
what's the
that were on
difference?
paper into the computer. And right now, I'm working on my tree. Okay, let's see. Okay,
Oh, they got some Enigma playing?
Yeah, it is Enigma.
Hell yeah. Blasting Enigma while
Yes,
you make
it's
VR
Sunday
worlds.
Ness. What? What's
Yeah, this
so
is
good.
this is Roblox Alpha.
I don't know if those are. I don't know what
now,
machines those
everybody's
are.
been making their worlds on the flat screen of the Apple Macs. But this afternoon, we get to do the real VR bit. Using the lab's state-of-the-art virtual reality equipment to fly through and explore each other's worlds.
Hey, Strawberry, welcome to 90s
Whet your
VR.
appetite. This is one of
Welcome
the
to
worlds that
Enigma.
another group produced.
I love those trees. Those trees look like they're from Sonic.
Loading there in the middle, which I believe you can grab. And
Do we
bring
need to
out
have
of
the
water
rapidly strobing
and leave
world?
wherever you
Yeah,
want.
let's
Can we-
move away from there. We
So
go.
Can we
here I
prototype
go
away
in
from
full
this?
immersion virtual reality. Okay.
It's even
here
bigger,
goes
the helmet now.
sun. Okay, and I'm going in.
Helmet
fast
does look
mode
better.
here. Oh, let's go pick up the snake.
When I first went in, the graphics were a little fuzzy, and I couldn't see that well, but after a while, I got used to it.
The best
That was my
virtual
experience,
world
too.
I've ever been in.
I wear glasses in
is
VR,
the
so...
Shark World. And I liked it because it actually had some action in it, rather than just looking.
If I had to choose between
These kids are already
virtual
fixing
reality
VR.
and real life, I'd probably choose real life because you have more control over yourself.
So what are you doing next summer? You'll never guess where I'll be. I haven't finished building it yet.
Thank you, Z. We've heard tell there are plans afoot for a British virtual reality summer camp. We'll keep you posted on any developments. That should be next year. In the meantime, this
I
is
wanna
probably
join.
the only way that you'll experience VR on equipment like this. Virtual reality machines are becoming very popular in arcades at the moment. In
Barnacle
fact,
Labs for
a
the
brand
300
new
bits of current
dedicated
for the
VR
100
centre
bits.
called Virtual Quest opened last Thursday
I
on
want the
Tower Hill
Gregorian chants
in
to
London.
come back.
It's only the second
Thank you
place in
both,
the
I
country
appreciate
where
it.
you can experience the full VR role-play game Legend Quest. The other centre in
Whoa.
Nottingham is now a
This is
mecca
sick,
for
okay.
people who want to become elves, dwarves, and pixies and battle their way through skeleton-filled dungeons.
I want all of those
I want
things.
this
Sneak
now.
preview of a brand new game designed to run on this kit, being expertly demonstrated by my friend and colleague Miss Violet Berlin.
Yeah,
It's
that was
called
very
Grid
Kingsfield.
Warriors, and it should be out in the summer. Are you all right in
Play
there?
this.
Doing very well, thank you. I've dealt with a few spiders so far.
And that's all, is it?
Yeah, so far.
Well, it's designed for two characters, this game. One is a big, nasty alien, and the other a cyborg warrior. And they stalk each other inside a huge space vessel. Oh, well, good shot.
Yeah,
there.
I only
The
saw
warrior's got to
Dactyl
deactivate
Nightmare
the ship's
too.
self-destruct mechanism and destroy the alien.
I don't
and the
think I
alien's
ever got to
stop
play
it all
Dactyl
in 4
Nightmare. I
minutes.
played one with a
So,
mech
have
in
you
it.
found the self-destruct mechanism?
No,
No?
I found...
Have you found the alien?
Look, I found my feet. Look, if I look down.
It's marvellous, Violet. The universe is safe in your hands.
Violet's
Well, if
throwing
you're
for
decided to
content.
come out of
She'd be a good
cyberspace,
streamer.
It's time now for this week's news and previews.
After last week's programme, when Nam gave you a cheat for Sonic 2, our phones went crazy with calls wanting to know what it was, because none of you had written it down. Well, as a special once-only offer, here it is again. Select the sound test, and play the following sound test.
This was important back then.
19, 65,
This was important
9,
cultural knowledge.
17.
1965,
Now press start.
9/17.
When Sonic appears
Yuji
with
Naka's
tails
birthday.
and gives a thumbs up, hit start and A together twice.
Is it
You'll get a
really?
screen
It is.
showing all the
Oh,
levels to
wow.
choose from.
Yeah, the guy
And
booking
that's
him
it,
didn't even
and
have to
another
ask.
which not only makes Sonic supersonic, but also gives him
Got
witchy
him.
blonde
I
hair.
was like, who's
They're both in the data blast. Little Devil is a game still under development for the Amiga and PC. It doesn't have any sound on it yet. The Little Devil
Little
Mo has
Devil!
grown
We played that
horned
on
because of
CDI.
drinking magic
Little
water.
Devil!
The aim is to get out of the underworld and back to normal.
The Super Deck Systems adapter has just been unveiled. It's a converter that lets you play NES games on the SNES.
Look at this twisted
And
shit.
the full
Oh, I like
version will
this.
allow you to play American NES and SNES games.
You're gonna go
as
through all
well
that effort to play
throughout this year.
Destination Earthstar?
Now for some more games reviews.
Flashback on the Mega Drive follows the story of research scientist Conrad B. Hart. He's been kidnapped by aliens, had his memory erased, and he's just escaped from a high-security hospital. Some days nothing goes right. Here's James.
This is a really hard game. The controls are really hard to get used to at
Yeah,
first,
kids wouldn't know what to
but the
do with this
graphics
game.
make up for that.
This is hard as shit.
When he walks along like that, it's just like the man from
It looks
Uncle
cool,
and that
but
roll.
man.
He's even got a recoil from the gun when he shoots it. I haven't got a gun at this point, and I'm being chased by this psycho robot thing. That little thing that came up in the corner tells me I've just stood above a gun, and I've picked it up there. He's asked for it now. You don't always have the things that you need when you're going through the game, and you have to pick them up.
Danbo, I don't think there was an equivalent
It's good
incident.
like
I do know
that.
what you're
It's like
talking
a
about,
thinking
though.
game and an
Someday we'll
action
have to
game
cover
also.
Games Master.
This game gets full marks for visuals and effects. It'll last you for years.
This is fantastic. The animation is beautifully fluid. It does take a bit of getting into, but it's worth sticking with.
There's some really realistic effects here, but be warned, it's only for expert players.
And the
This was
scores
the
for
gaming equivalent of
Flashback.
Oscar
The
bait back
boys
then.
gave it 5 out of 5, but the girls weren't quite so impressed. They gave it 4 out of 5.
Next we've got
Girls were right.
Parodius, a parody of the Gradius series. Get it? Never mind. Anyway, if you want a game to
We
cheer
didn't
you
get
up on a
this.
wet Wednesday in Barnsley, this
This
is a wacky
localization
shoot 'em
was
up on the
UK
SNES.
exclusive.
It's also
A
due
wet
out on the NES
Wednesday,
and the
huh?
Game Boy.
Yeah, real wet Wednesday. Huh?
The ideas in this game are totally weird. You get to choose from 4 different battleships, the most effective of which is the Twin B. He's probably the best for beginners as well.
He's right,
This,
actually.
whatever it is, keeps on attacking me in various different ways.
It's weird not just to
There's a
have
good difficulty
kids
curve.
presenting this, but
And
to
the
actually
game
have
gets
kids who
harder
know
as
what
it
they're
goes along.
talking about.
He's turning red now, so I should complete him very soon.
It feels like this was actually edited
There he
pretty
goes.
well to
Complete the level.
make these kids say
This game's
coherent thoughts
okay,
about these games.
But after a little while, you'll soon get tired of it.
Yeah,
It's not
no,
very
they're
addictive.
actually pretty
It's cute,
insightful for
unusual,
being
and mad.
kids.
Every level holds a surprise, and you never know what's coming next. It's brilliant.
This is fast, fun, and cartoony. It's a game you can get into straight away, and it looks fantastic.
And the scores for Parodius. The boys gave it an average score of 3 out of 5, but the girls were a bit more impressed and gave it 4 out of 5.
Once again, the girls are right.
Always trust the gamer girls.
Now, as this is the last program in the current series, we thought it would be a good time to take a look at some of the games that are going to be out in the next few months. So we've been joined by members of our Ace review panel, at least that's what they told me to say, to tell us what they think. First up, something called Bubsy. It's on the SNES and the Mega Drive, a cartoony platformer starring
Something
a
called
with a love
Bubsy.
of yarn balls. That's the hype. What do we think?
Well, I think it's a very good game, and it's faster than Sonic. The idea is to collect yarn balls, and it's not very hard, but the challenge is to find all the secret hidden rooms.
Sounds like a good game. The next one is Body Blows, a new beat-em-up out on the Amiga. There are loads of characters
That's it,
each
that's
with
all
their
you
own
get,
special
Bubs.
moves. What did you think of this one?
I preferred Street Fighter. This seemed a lot
I hope
more
Violet never
monotonous
had to play
than
Bubsy.
Street Fighter and
God,
Streets
I
of
hope
Rage
no.
2.
Nope,
Yeah.
nobody needs to
I
play
think this has to
Bubsy.
be probably the best beat 'em up now. It will be released very soon.
Really? What are the special moves like?
Well, you can do various different special moves which are activated.
what the
very
hell is
simply,
this?
and it's
Body
a really
blows?
good idea and concept.
Is this an
and it
Amiga
plays very
game?
fast.
Yeah, it's Amiga.
Well, still on the
Oh, that
subject
makes
of
sense.
fighters, another fighting game, Pit Fighter, which is on the links. Now,
It's
this
true,
is not just a
Bubsy got
boxing game,
very high
but
marks in
karate,
magazines back
wrestling,
then.
and a bare-knuckle
Look at
beat 'em
Pit
up
Fighter
all
on the
rolled into
links.
one.
Link's
Are
Pick
you a
Fight
beat 'em up
sucks
fan?
more than anything else.
I am, but this seems a very good game when you first play it. But there's only really the punch and the kick, and after a while it gets really boring.
Next up, we've had loads of letters asking for us to look at games on the
Damn,
Master
Link's just got
System.
buried.
So here's a look at Mickey Mouse 2, the latest in the long line of
Frappe,
Mickey
thank you
Mouse
for gifting the
novels.
sub to
So,
Sotenga.
is it as good as the other Mickey games?
I don't think so. It was quite good, but I don't think it's as good as the other ones.
I think for the Master System, the graphics are excellent, and it puts a lot of gameplay in there as well. it's fun and enjoyable, and that's all you really need from a game.
They're right. Nowadays,
Now,
Castle of
you've
Illusion
seen
is
the toys,
considered better than
you've
the
driven with
follow-up on
Violet
Master
Berlin,
System.
Now experience the
Insightful
game
kids.
Crash Dummies here on the Game Boy and due out on most systems too. First of all, because this is an odd concept, can you explain, Nikesh, what the Crash Dummies is actually you have to do?
Well, the idea is just to, like, die in the most spectacular way.
Splatter
Well,
yourself
first
into
of all,
oblivion.
there's a series of
that's
U.S.
the idea, like,
advertisements
crash
about
into
dummies getting in car crashes and dying.
Fall from skyscrapers,
Garro's 10 month
bang into
Bubsy
trees,
is a very
anything
good
possible.
game.
It's true.
Sounds like quite unusual
Thank you.
gameplay. Does it work?
It's not bad. You've got different things on different levels, like you have a skiing level, which you have to like, crash into all the flags. And you have to drive a car and smash into
the
a wall
UK.
and different things like that.
For anyone who doesn't know, it
Violet
is
should be good at
based on a
this game.
series of public
Definitely.
service
Yeah,
advertisements in the U.S., and yet here it is in the UK.
So that's it then.
I don't know if the UK
end.
had the Crash
My last
Test Dummies
cheat.
ads.
One final service I can
I
perform.
assume they didn't.
A lot of people wrote
Just
in
him and his hedgehog.
asking for cheats for the Commodore 64, which is lucky because it was the only thing that nobody wanted to buy. This letter from Kaylee Ratcliffe from Hemel Hempstead says, I wrote in to ask whether you'd talk more about the Commodore 64s because I need some cheats, fast. Right then, here are some cheats, fast.
Oh, Namrood.
And now a nice steady cheat. This is an infinite lives cheat for a game called Hudson Hawk. All you do on the title screen before the high score.
Namrood, the
Get your
C64
joystick
owners, get
and
fucked.
Press it up, down.
You get a
left,
code for Hudson
right,
Hawk.
Right,
That's
left,
such a
down.
God. That's so mean.
And that really is it. The end. Goodbye, Furtlers. Keep your joysticks oiled
Okay,
and
so
keyboards
they
dry.
got Crash Test Dummies in Australia. Not the PSAs, but they got the toys, the show.
So for them, it was just another animated series. That's twisted.
That's so wild.
Show business.
Oh, goodbye, Namrood. That's the last we'll see of that guy.
You know, for a moment then, I almost felt sorry for him. And before we go, the best computer and console games are often based on arcade versions.
Who wants a
But
Zool
this
arcade
is
cabinet?
a prototype of a new game out this summer, which was so popular on the Amiga, they're putting it into the
Andy's
arcade.
playing the opening
You'll probably
demo.
recognise it as Zool, Ninja of the Nth Dimension.
You can see the credits.
And as you'll see, the character is bigger, faster, oh, and it's got new levels as well.
If you want to read the final specially extended edition of the Data Blast, which includes not only the Sonic 2 cheat, but Namrood's special spot remedy, then set your video recording now. Last week's competition was to win a Menacer and a Mega Drive, and the question was,
Menacer.
what does the word laser stand for?
And the answer is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. And we'll pick the winner from the sack. The lucky winner is... Here we go, big piece of paper. Oh, I can't read that. Adelu Omotayo from London. We'll be sending the prize off to you.
Sadly, this is the last Bad Influence in the current series, but
The winner's sack.
you can still read about us in Bad Influence magazine, which is at your newsstand now, and as Nam would say, happy fertling.
We hope to be back in the autumn. See you then.
Bye-bye.
It's fertile. It's fertile.
Happy
happily.
Ferdling. Yeah, at that point, they just thought it would be a one-series show. They thought this would all be over with. Did you see that screenshot of Sewer Shark?
Yes, I also saw Dracula.
So there was 13 episodes in the first series, and luckily enough, it proved pretty popular, so there were 3 more series after this. We'll be seeing a selection of episodes from those. Getting Sewer Shark data blasted right into your eyeballs. Now, which episode is this, Alex?
This would be episode 2, episode 4 of season 2.
Okay, we're in season 2 now, and we'll see how they evolved.
Over Hotel, £2,000, please. Hello, on Bad Influence today, how board games like Monopoly are being given a digital dimension.
Can I give you my get-out-of-jail-free card?
There's games of Monopoly now.
All right, then. Our main review this week is Asterix on the SNES.
One more.
Asterix on the SNES.
As
Can you get
Virtual
more British?
Geographic League celebrates its 100th year birthday. I'll be following in the footsteps of Alexander Graham Bell and translocating to Solaris 7.
Enjoy translocating.
But first, meet Mark Nyman, the world Scrabble champion. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to
And
Bad
the world
Influence.
Scrabble champion.
We're going to set you a challenge now. This
Right.
is the Amiga Scrabble program.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident?
I feel pretty good, yeah. I've actually had a couple of games in rehearsal with it, and it's one game all at the moment, so this is the final one.
Okay. Off you go then, and we'll see how you get on at the end of the show.
Thanks very much.
Ertler, yes. Fertler.
Blobwig? Fart?
Blobwig.
You can't put fart on there.
Scrabblers. Here's a few useful Scrabble words. Number 1, Irritate, which means to really irritate someone by rubbing them on their head. Number 2.
Is that a real word?
Blob wig, which is a person you just can't resist irritating every time you see them.
Is that a real word?
And then, of course, there's BQS,
Is it? Actually, I don't
which
know.
is a cheat for Desert Strike on the Amiga. Simply type it in on
He's
the
lying,
password
okay.
screen, then play the game. Then, when you run out of ammo, just press F10 once, and you'll get all your weapons back, and you'll be impervious to all rocket, bullet, and missile attacks. Like so. Oh, I almost forgot my favourite Scrabble word ever. You get rid of 2 Q's, 2 Z's.
Magambo, you can't just say that in a public chat.
Kazow! And it's the sound a keyboard makes when it smashes you in the face.
That's very outdated slang.
It's true, you know, it's true. Have a look at this.
Andy?
The new Amiga
Andy?
CD32, the first
Andy,
32-bit
be normal.
console to be launched in this country. Software, well, there's not very much of it around at the moment. There are only 4 games available, but more are promised by Christmas. 80, in fact. Honest. Now, when you buy the console, you get all the little bits and pieces. You get your mains adapter, etc., and you get this rather strange-shaped controller.
Andy burying the
Why it's this
fuck out of the
shape, I have no idea.
CD32
It
with
doesn't
one
seem to
word.
improve playability. In fact, it's just a nuisance. You also get 2 games. You get a game called Oscar, and this one, Diggers, which is, well, it takes ages to get going, and then it's really slow, and it's sort of like Lemmings, but it's nowhere near as much fun. But amazing 32-bit games are coming, they promise us. This is called Rise of the Robots.
Oh, no.
Beat 'em up that makes full use of the machine's huge palette of over 16 million colours.
We're screwed. We're screwed.
And in the CD system, it makes full use of CD quality sound and CD quality music. And as we've said so many times on this program before, you get a better value of game for your money on CD than you do from a floppy or a cartridge. And that's because, of course, a CD can hold so much more information.
Maybe not with the
This I'm
CD32.
sure you'll recognise
Oh,
as James Pond Robocod.
fuck
On
off,
CD32,
Robocod.
This game has an amazing 140 levels.
It's true. Music is a form of sound. Welcome.
The comic book character Asterix is pretty popular. He sold over 20 million books, has starred in his own series of animated films, and has even got his own theme park in France. Now he's starring in his own SNES game.
I mean, that's
the year
true.
is 50 BC. Obelix has been
Hey, Steamed
captured by
Ham.
the invading
Welcome.
Roman
I've seen
army,
all of this show,
so
too. It's
Asterix,
really
with
good.
a little help from the canine dogmatics, has to go and get him back. Here's Adam in
Yeah, one of the
ancient
worst
Gaul.
roller coasters in the world is an Asterix theme park.
Really?
Yeah, like I forget what it's called.
Is it
but-
like, is it dangerous?
No, it just sucks. I forget what it's called, but yeah.
You got pretty typical sequence here, lots of jumping around.
Yeah, here in Series 2, we've still got the dinosaur mascots and Rood. Eventually, they evolved to be a little bit more, less kiddie, I guess? I miss Rood, though.
That potion there makes it temporarily invincible, so you can charge through the enemy and smack them up without having to take any damage. That's another useful point. Unfortunately, you just get bored by the game. There's just all this jumping around, and there's nothing to do. I mean, you just jump in here between clouds. What's the point?
This kid is just dismantling Asterix. Like, who cares? Why do you want to play this?
When you have 100 of them, will give you an extra life. A rip-off move of Mario, which the game is.
I love that this show is not afraid to tell it like it is, if that's really what the kids thought.
I love it. He's like, this game is definitely trying to rip off Mario. He's right.
On GamePro TV, it would be like, well, at worst, it's a 4 out of 5.
Anyone would want to play this game for an hour continuously. There's too much jumping around, not enough to do. I wouldn't play this game unless I was getting paid for it. And seeing as this game costs £45, I'd take that £45 and buy some of the books. At least I get more fun out of them.
Wow.
I like the main character,
Jeez.
especially the dog. It's got really good graphics, but the gameplay could be better.
It took me a while.
Asterix ruined by critical review.
That kid just,
I like the setting and
yeah,
times.
burned him.
And so the final scores for Asterix. The girls gave it an average score of 3 out of 5, and the boys, well, some of them liked it more than Adam, so overall they gave it 3 out of 5 as well.
Adam was just, don't worry.
Adam kind of went off there. I'm sorry, guys.
That virtual reality was in fact discovered over 100 years ago. The mysterious Virtual Geographic League have just revealed the fact that they've been exploring cyberspace since the turn of the century. But now they need more funds for research.
It is a really
so
shitty
they've had
game,
to
though.
open their doors
Super
to
Nintendo
and among
Asterix.
them
He was
was
right.
our own Z Wright.
And he should say it.
It's 10:30 at night in London. It's just after lunch in Walnut Creek, California. And it's, later than I thought on Solaris 7. I'm in the headquarters of the Virtual Geographic League. It was from this very same building that some of the bravest adventurers in history set out to explore cyberspace. And I'm about to join them.
All pilots for Alpha.
Just gonna have a pint before shooting off into cyberspace.
Attention all pilots for Alpha.
Oh, excuse me, that's my mission.
Yeah, all kids get a free beer.
I have to say, I wish I could have gone to this.
Me too.
It reminds me of an escape room.
Battle mech.
Except it's about mech combat.
Other mech warriors from all over the universe, and it's a
Oh, this
battle
is
to the
actual
death.
Mech Warrior, I think.
My mech has an almost overwhelming array of armaments and systems.
Or is it BattleTech? I know those are.
I think it might be one of the BattleTech Center type things.
I see. Yeah, they had these enclosures where you could simulate being a mech pilot.
After returning to Earth and the decontamination procedures, VGL pilots love to gather around.
They gotta
the beef
decontaminate you.
and compare notes on tactics. But
I hope
have
they
a more
emulated that by
important
just like
task,
spraying
to
you with
discover
random
more
shit.
about the history of
Some
the
guy
Virtual
with a
Geographic
Febreze
League
took
from board member
We'll have to
Tim
add
Disney.
that when they put
Most
this
of
in
the history
name.
of the Virtual Geographic League remains shrouded in mystery. but-
Tim Disney, inventor of Disney.
You can't do a themed attraction and be named Tim
with the goal
Disney.
of discovering and exploring other universes.
Isn't it dangerous?
And
Well,
yeah, the
there
audio
have been,
popping here is
a
pretty
few
noticeable.
incidents in the history of the league. The containment bay,
Hope to
you'll
someday
notice,
get
is
a
heavily
Blu-ray release for this
reinforced
series.
structure. That's for a reason. There have been a few episodes of unwanted hitchhikers making the journey back to Earth, and some resulting mayhem. But we've really improved our safety standards. In
Alex,
fact, we've only lost
enemies are
11
escaping from the game world and running amok. I think we buried the lead here.
travel. So we're quite proud of our safety record. In fact, I brought you here this operator's manual, and I suggest you pay very close attention to the regulations concerning safety in Chapter 6. Chapter 6.
All pilots for Beta 6. Beta 6, please report the departure area.
You gotta be ready for safety. You gotta be ready for creatures to come out of the game world.
Hey, don't forget.
That guy's got a big dinosaur skull. He's probably trying to clone
My
that thing.
next translocation is to Mars, the Red Planet, in the year 2053.
Those are BattleTech pods? Okay.
I
On the
love.
Red
Okay,
Planet,
this
I'll be
FMV
flying
was
in
that in other
dangerous
BattleTech
hovercraft
things,
race
or is
with
that
my
just
fellow
exclusive to
adventurers.
here? Not the FMV, but like this live footage.
Taking
Might have
the
been
roles of
exclusive.
enslaved or miners.
Tim Disney is in fact a great nephew of Walt Disney.
Not surprised he got into the themed entertainment business.
It makes sense.
I could also imagine it's easy to get funders when you're like, yeah, I'm a Disney, and I want to do a themed attraction. Will you give me money? And then everyone's like, yeah, give me money. I'll give you money.
Yeah, I asked. These are old school battle pods.
Oh, lightly damaged, huh? Oh, man. This blew up. Now I'm in third place. The other
You died,
crafts
and
are
worse,
being
you're in third
controlled by real
place.
players, so every adventure is different. Hey, I did pretty good. This is my pilot log sheet. It tells me how many points I got, who I collided with, and how many violations I notched up. Oh well, back to reality.
Back to reality.
God, that would have been sick.
Just go down to your local
If you believe
BattleTech
that,
pod.
you'll believe anything. There are plans to set up virtual worlds in this country too, probably next year and probably in London. BattleTech is
Londonites, you see any virtual worlds around there?
When Z played it, the idea is to destroy opponents and capture land.
That's how I play.
That's how you
Today's
play.
game, Mech Warrior, is also based on BattleTech. Now for this week's news and previews.
Another massive scoop for Bad Influence. This is the first televised look
Oh,
outside Japan
yeah!
of a brand new Sonic CD.
Yes!
This amazing disc
Sick.
features 7 mouth-watering
What a get.
levels using some fantastic scrolling and rotational effects, plus a sneak snip of a Sonic pinball sub-level.
Those heroes in a half shell are back in a beat-em-up game of their own called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles Tournament.
They call fighting
Fighters.
games beat 'em ups over there.
Leonardo
It's a
and the
little
gang are all
confusing.
available for the beat-em-up
It
action,
is
as well as 6
confusing.
baddies like Shredder and a mutant shark called Armagon.
The latest pocket-sized strap-on for your Game Boy is this, the humongous Booster Boy. This massive plastic case completely surrounds your Game Boy. It's got stereo speakers.
Use a
larger
giant
buttons,
ray on your
amplifier,
Game Boy.
is it?
Turn it 5 times bigger than it was before.
On the side here for headphones and
Game
charts,
man
there's a
now.
magnifier, there's a light,
got little
even a
compartments.
robust little mini joystick. You can prolong the life of your Game Boy with the extra backup battery compartments in the bottom, and there's a mains adapter as well.
Probably hide a gun in there.
Are your trainers looking dull and lifeless? Have they got that just got them from the shop look? Well, take it from me. You are seriously uncool.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
the
need help
Hogan
from
Michu
the
of,
Trainer Care Lab. Here at the Trainer Care Lab,
I like
the very latest
I like how they called back to the
technology
shoe
to
joke from episode 1. They did it different. And now he's bonking him with a hammer.
Right,
This guy's off his rocker.
While they're fermenting, here's a really cool tip for cool spot on the
Well, he shaved the unibrow for Series 2.
Pause the game
That's ridiculous.
like so, and type in ABC, BAC, ABC, BAC, and you'll be whisked straight to the end of the level, like so. Right, I think
That's
I better
cheating.
check my traders. A few more hours, I think, yes.
Boy, you can smell it from here. Time to find out how the world Scrabble champion is getting on against the Amiga. So, who's winning?
Well, I'm just ahead at the moment, 323 to 303, and it's my go. But I've got pretty bad letters on my rack at the moment, so...
It's looking pretty bad for humanity.
So how do you find
Amigas are going to take over.
It's very tough. I'm playing on the highest level. There's 12 different levels, and half wishing I'd played on a lower level.
Right, I'll let you get on with it now.
Devil Ray, I don't think so, actually. I think in some regions it was just called Spot or Cool Spot without any kind of branding.
Favourites are enjoying a new lease of life as toy companies convert their bestsellers to video format, coincidentally just in time for Christmas. This is
7-Up does
Monopoly
exist
on
in the
PC.
UK,
Now, at
okay.
first glance, it may look about as useful as a chocolate fire guide, but think about it.
Look at these
There are
characters.
advantages to binning the cardboard in favour of the computer.
They're kind of freakish.
Well, for example, you don't have to argue with the computer about who gets to be the top hat, do you? Anyway, you can play against up to 7 other computerized
That's me
characters. They've all got their own
about
quirky little
Monopoly,
personality traits. Some of them are quite
You want to be the top hat?
thick.
No,
And
I
you can
just
save the
I
game
don't
so
see
that you don't have to pack up the board like you do normally.
Monopoly
And-
outside of.
Well, that's it, really.
This is
I mean-
Mahjong. In this particular version of the game, the basic idea is to
Holy
get
crap,
good
real-life
tiles by
Shanghai.
matching them up, like that's a pair. Before each game, you have to sort out the tiles.
I didn't know
and lay
people
them out in
actually
different
did
ways. There are
that
loads of different
outside
ways
of
to do
the,
this, and it takes ages.
I didn't know either.
It's not a problem, however, on the SNES version of the game, which is called Shanghai 2. This is a
Which you
basic
have to play with a
pattern. Now, I'm
ridiculous
just getting
contraption
the
in your
tiles
Super
like
Nintendo.
I was going to say, what's in the
I'm finding a tile which has got
what's in
two
the
bare
what's in
edges
the
next to each
SNES?
other, clicking them on them with the joypad.
Probably a
and then
lockout chip
disappearing.
killer so they
And then
can
I
play
think we're gonna be
NTSC
stuck
games
for a
on
bit.
PAL.
Even old favourites like battleships have been given the full treatment. In this,
Alex,
the
look what it
CDI
is.
version
It's
of
battle.
Battleships,
It's a
they've tried to
CDI
spice it
version.
up a
We
little
played
bit.
that.
Yep.
Actual sea warfare footage.
Catch our Monday
in the
stream.
bottom
We
left-hand
watched. We
corner of the
played
screen there,
this.
which
Mhm.
depicts what's going on, whether it's a hit or a miss, or whether the ship's sunk and so on. Hits are red, misses are white. If you sink all his ships before he sinks all yours, you've won, or vice versa. And apart from that, it's just like the game.
It's not a rerun. Retro Pals and Bad Influence are different
And
shows.
of course, there's chess, which was the first board game ever to get computerised. It's only recently that the software has begun to appeal to anyone who's less than a grandmaster. This is Battle Chess 4000. The board
I
battle
like the
field with
screaming.
32 digitised clay models acting as the pieces. Pawns trade blows with castles, and queens bash bishops to bits.
And this is the manic National Lampoon chess. The
They were
crazy characters
competing
are brought to life from
chess
digitized
parody
footage of
games.
Real actors. They have raging animated battles and are pestered by the Grandmaster, who sends down all manner
Did
of
Monty
weird
Python
creatures to play
chess
them.
come out in America?
Interesting than watching Short and Kasparov.
I don't know.
Because I know about the other Monty Python games, but I've never heard of Monty Python chess.
That was National Lampoon.
National Lampoon. I'm so sorry.
We got to play that.
We do.
And now for some more games reviews.
Look who it is.
Oh, it's a watering cans, kids. That's a clue.
Platformageddon star Alfred Chicken himself.
Alfred's girlfriend. Here's Lisa to unscramble the mess.
When you first
What do
begin to
kids
play
think of
this
Alfred
game,
Chicken?
It's difficult to control Alfred and to understand the game. But after a while of playing, you begin to master the maneuvers. This is level 3, wood. You can tell from the pieces of wood about nails and bits of leaves. I'm now going through a secret entrance into a room where there's a flower. Now if I collect this telephone, she will give me a special weapon, which is in shape of jam. I can now fire and collect these objects for points. This game is worse than any other platform game I've played. It's very difficult to maneuver.
Get his
It's
ass.
a very basic game compared to
Nail
Swimming.
Alfred to the cross.
It might appeal to younger players, but it didn't appeal to me.
I really hate this game. The gameplay is really basic.
And the scores for Alfred Chicken. The girls gave it a paltry 2 out of 5, and the boys gave it a foul 2 out of 5.
Wow.
Nobody likes Alfred Chicken. Meanwhile, Gunstar Heroes, whatever. Gunstar Heroes never ran for political office in the UK. Alfred Chicken did. He got a few votes.
Games for the Mega Drive. It's very fast.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Alfred Chicken ran for office.
This is 7 Force. He's the level boss on level 2.
This is worse than Alfred Chicken.
It transforms into another boss.
This
which you
makes
have to
Alfred
keep
Chicken look
defeating.
brilliant.
At the beginning of the game, you can choose from any of 4 different weapons. You can also collect other weapons through the game, so you have 2, and they can be combined. You don't have to repeatedly keep pressing the fire button, you just have to hold it down. This is a definite game to buy, especially if you enjoy action games, and there's the added bonus of having 2 players.
I like this game, it's really good. The graphics are good as well, but it is confusing when there is 2 of you on the screen.
This is a very
It
good
can
game.
get a little busy.
If you like shooting games, it's a very good buy. It's a lot better than average.
And the scores for Gunstar Heroes. The girls gave it an excellent score of 4 out of 5, and the boys agreed. 4 out of 5 from them.
13-year-old gaming expert. I prefer Alien Soldier.
No, not quite ready yet. A lot of people ask me how the head caption system works. Well,
Kid's got high standards.
I've had all my hair surgically removed and replaced
These
with a very
kids won't
special material
stand for
I
Alfred
invented
Chicken.
called Rood roll. At a distance, it looks like real hair, but close up, you can probably see it's made up of hundreds of tiny insects who grab the lovingly prepared captions in their pincers. I'll demonstrate with this cheap for Parodius on the SNES. Well done, tiny friends. Pause the game anywhere and type it in. BBXXAYAY up, then left, and you'll get maximum.
Every
power.
Namrood appearance is a
Okay,
Namrood
tiny
lore
friends,
dump.
You can let go now. I said you can let go. Let go, I said.
Thankfully, Roodro is not available in the shops. If you want to read the data blast, set your video recorder now. Last week's competition was to win a Neo Geo and a game, and the Bad Influence t-shirt. The question was, from which film is this the last scene? The answer is Die Hard 2, and the lucky winner is...
Die Harder.
Amanda Jane Bradbury from Linton
Neo
Swaddling Coat in Derbyshire. Well done.
Where?
That
This
kid
week's
is balling
competition
now.
prize is a CD32 with software.
Oh,
and
some
of
poor
course,
kid's gonna win the
the Bad Influence t-shirt. And the
CD32.
competition question is very simple. What's the more common name for the chess piece known as a rook? If you think you know, give us a call on 0891
It's a castle.
700 100. Calls should cost you no more than 25p, but get permission from
And the
whoever
knight
pays
is
phone
more
bill
commonly
before you
known as the
call.
horsey.
Lines will stay open until midnight on Monday. Best of luck.
Just before we go, the question that's on everyone's lips. Who is better, the world Scrabble champion or the Amiga? Who's won? Who's won?
The Amiga is officially won by 6 points.
Oh my God!
Ironically, at the end,
We're doomed.
pressed across rather than down on my last move.
No need for humans anymore.
I won if I'd been playing on a board, but I lost because I pressed the wrong digit into the computer.
At any rate,
Sure,
it's
that's
very
why, yeah,
close.
wrong
Very close.
digit.
He's a great player.
What was your best
Yeah,
word?
the sun was in your
My
eyes.
best word was Equinia, and its best word was vortexes, which is very nice, using the X.
Ooh,
Well, thanks for
vortexes, that's a
playing
big
for us.
word.
Just
It's got a
goes to
V
show
and an
that a
X.
computer can almost be beaten.
And finally, just before we go, tomorrow sees the launch of the game everybody's been waiting for, Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the SNES. At last, you get to control the bosses. The word is it's really good. A full review next week. Watch this space.
Goodbye, farewell, adieu, au revoir,
Bye-bye.
auf Wiedersehen, arrivederci.
I really like the presenters for this show. They're like... It feels like they saved all the 90s edginess for Namrood, which I think was the right choice. And the presenters are just kind of normal and engaging.
Yeah, they're super normal, and the show itself, it's a very informative show. I really like the kid interviews, and yeah.
They do a good job of making things relatable and understandable for kids. Now, for our next episode,
One second.
I figured since Video Power came so close to winning this week's poll, we might as well see one episode of Video Power. This is from the second incarnation of the series, the game show version. Once again, let me set this up. In the UK, you came home in 90, 91, 92. You would turn on the telly, watch an episode of Bad Influence. The exact same time, the exact same situation in the US, you would come home after school, turn on the TV, and there on TBS or some shit would be Video Power, and you would watch it every day and you would love it. I watched probably this exact episode. I watched Video Power a lot as a kid coming home from school. So whereas the UK kids got an actual responsible education through Bad Influence, here in the US we got this. So enjoy.
Chance, get set, chance, bust it, chance. Bouncing along, he'll take this line upside down. Yes, he goes right to the top side, and now he'll take it right over here.
Video Power was nationally syndicated.
Take it right to the top.
Some places may not have aired it, but it sure did in Texas.
Or C, match the hoople. Yes.
I never never saw it actually in my area. Like, it wasn't syndicated. If it was syndicated, I never watched it.
California had standards. Now watch this intro.
With maximum height. Say video power? Yeah, that's right. Word. I've got the ability.
My show is kicking with maximum height.
Word.
Let her rip.
This is a D&D music mine.
Yeah, different tone. If you run it 100 bits, check out the hook while the DJ revolves it.
Thank you. Just a little bit different in terms of everything.
I am feeling extremely screamed at.
Alive from somewhere in America, it's TV's really big half-hour video power. And now here's your nitty-gritty guide to game
guitar. He's just banging out the tune.
Yeah, they got an in-house band, supposedly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Terry. And that band was really cooking. And to think it's only one guy playing all that music. You know, of course, he's got 17 fingers. All right, we will continue with the.
And to think there's only one guy playing it, was he just revealing that he's not actually?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Johnny Arcade.
The power activator button is on. And we'll be back right after these words.
If I had one word to sum up Johnny Arcade, it would be cocaine.
I was going to. I didn't want to be rude. You didn't tell me there were ads.
And it includes the ads.
Yes.
So get ready to enjoy ads. This vending machine sucks.
About nougat, crazy for
Looking at the Baby Ruth vending machine. Wonder what I should get today.
There's only one single solitary shitty Baby Ruth.
Wow.
I love these three people lining up at the Baby Ruth only machine.
Hey, check it out. It's new Air Pro Hot.
Now, of course, they had ads on Bad Influence as well, but I think this really just highlights how consumer-oriented kids' video game shows were back when. For Bad Influence, it had these segments that were all like stuff you may never experience, like VR and virtual space camps and whatever. And here it's just like product after product after product, brought to you by Acclaim. The first series of Video Power actually had an animated series starring Acclaim characters, including Quark, the Amazing Tomato, and the guys from Narc. By the time they got to Series 2, they changed it entirely to a game show style format.
Chain link fencing!
Yeah. 50% off.
Chain link fencing!
Now everybody this offer lasts all week at Sears. You don't need to turn off the stream to go to Sears and get this.
Save 50% on selected lines of chain link fence fabric.
This was another thing I remember as a kid, just ads that have no relevance during children's programming.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna run to your parents and be like, let's get some chain link fence.
Maybe it's because your mom's watching and she's like, shit, we do need chain link fencing. That's a good prize.
Get your free in-home estimate and get satisfied.
Mom, there's a free in-home estimate.
Call now.
Mom.
Chain link fencing.
And gone. For all your home improvements, you can count on
50% off. That's actually
name around the
This is the gamer version of the Sears AC commercial. Johnny, please, you're indecent.
Arms of Ninja Gaiden 1 on the Video Power Edge. Today I'll be camping in the rarefied atmosphere of level
That interstitial was 0.1 seconds long.
We're going to go tooth and nail against the dreaded boss known as Bloody Malth. As with any tough boss in this game, it is vital that you have a good supply of spiritual strength and the all-important windmill throwing star. When you confront Malth, stand off to the right side, slightly to the left of the busted pillar. Stand and dodge his shots.
Did anyone need advice for this boss? It refills your health before the fight and you can just damage race him.
Here your father is sent against you because he's under a spell. Of course, you don't want to kill your father, so here's how to get him on your side.
Johnny?
You don't want to kill your father.
You want to rephrase that entire
Don't worry about
that
it.
entire sequence?
Jump up on the wall and climb a little bit to get out of his way. As long as you still have the windmill throwing star.
Now don't get me wrong, we all want to kill our dads, but this is a video game.
All the while. If you don't have the star, stand on the center pillar and slash away at the crystal with your sword. And those orbiting balls around your father, well, they can be temporarily inactivated by using your windmill throwing star. With the right number of slashes, you can destroy the crystal and get your father back unharmed. And that bucko.
Yeah, boomerang stars. Spin slash is the more accepted
Sir
strategy.
John, that was one heck of a tip, and you saw it here on the Video Power X. But now we've got the Ultimo Primo Video Power Challenge chip just around the bend. But now it's on the spot.
Were those words he was saying?
Time to put the spot on
We got the whole
Johnny.
video power.
Johnny on the spot.
He took an extra bump this episode.
I was going to say, what is going on?
Primo contestants. They came back from earlier in the week. And first is a guy who came in a
Oh,
close
my
second
God.
on our very first competition day. He's an 8th grader from St. Cyril and Methodius Middle School. His favorite game happens to be Battletoads.
He's
Ladies
so
and
like,
gentlemen, if you do,
slow down,
please make some
slow
noise
down.
for Mark Wren.
All these kids are just getting overstimulated. They're just getting yelled at from every angle.
Johnny Arcade today?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
In what game does a duck play golf?
Okay, Mark A. Your question makes the great
Demanding.
arcade think of the DuckTales game, because in the Himalayas, you can press off a certain block and get the doddering duck, Scrooge, to swing his golf club. That is the game there, Mark. Yeah.
All right, now you remember earlier Johnny Arcade.
Everyone
trying to
wearing
wrestle
leather
this big
jackets.
guy. Let me tell you about him. He's the second contestant. Came in second, remember, in our second day of competition. He's a weightlifting 8th grader. Aren't they all? He's from Oceanside High School.
What?
His favorite game is Magician Lord. So if you would, let's hear it for the incredible Alex Miller.
This kid's huge.
The real way to wrestle.
He's gonna kick
Johnny
everyone's
Arcade
ass.
is wrestling
Yeah,
down
I was
with a
gonna say
question.
this is an
Alex, go
adult.
ahead.
Okay. In what game does a Zen teacher come to you in a dream?
Wait, a Zen
Alex, you know
teacher
this one.
That's a Zen
who
teacher in
invades
one dream.
people's dreams when they're trying to get a good night's sleep?
That's right, a Zen teacher in dreams.
Well, that's disgusting, Terry. I refuse to answer a question about such a miserable,
I think you
pathetic,
should
offensive
discuss it
excuse for a video
further.
game. No!
Yes, I do. Do you have the clue? Not even a clue? No answer? I think we stumped Arcade, yes? Judges?
Oh my God, they stumped Johnny
Stumped
Arcade.
Johnny Arcade.
You know what that means.
I got something for you. Congratulations, a hotel shower cap. No, I got something else. Let's go take a look here into the mall. Oh, yeah, let's grab this, a voice swan, and a game handler. Not a bad little choice. That's for you, Alex. Congratulations.
Ooh, a game handler.
All right.
Enjoy your
All
game
right,
handler,
number 3.
Alex.
Oh, yeah, our third contestant, Double Dragon
I'm
Week
excited.
winner. He's a big guy, and let's give a big hand for this
Alex
guy.
gets to drink from the fire hose.
He's all, okay, they gotta just be handing these jackets to the people they're
Jamal?
interviewing.
I guess
You got
so,
the
yeah.
Arcade. You can put him down today. Stump him with a question.
Everyone's so drugged up, they make the kids wear leather
out of the
jackets so
door?
they can spot them.
Oh, man. Still thinking about Alex. First, I couldn't slam him, and then he slams me with that question. He stumps the great Arcade.
He's still
Anyway,
thinking about
okay,
Alex.
buddy. I'll handle your suck question with great success. In Mission 3 of Double Dragon 2,
Your
when
suck
you're
question.
riding in an enemy helicopter, you have to fight for your life to
Handle
avoid being
your
sucked
suck
out of the door.
question.
That is the game. But now, the time has come for you, runner-ups, to come running down.
This guy has contempt for every non-cocaine object in his sight. What does suck question even mean? Oh, now he's just throwing the kids around. God.
Okay, if you believe in second chances for second stringers, you'll get a second helping when we come back in a second. So come back with us. Ow.
Video Power will be right back.
He started to go feral at the end.
Down!
Ow!
It's Batman. Better than ever.
Penguin is frozen in Gotham City.
Arctic Batman emerges in his new
Arctic
polar
Batman!
Remember Arctic Batman?
Batman.
That's my favorite Batman.
Too late.
Without warning comes Batman.
50 cents from
fearsome
Sneaker Nuts.
skydropping
Yeah,
action.
bad influence isn't the show. Isn't the show saying you should kill your dad or whatever?
Yeah, very weird messaging in this. Also, I thought Bad Influence cut a pretty good, interesting pace, but this show goes way overboard. And then the commercials are just even more breakneck than that. It's a wonder kids weren't insane back then.
Gender with the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, it's the gender change Kool-Aid.
Oh, it's the Magic Blue Dini, this freak. Remember this guy? Remember the Blue Dini?
Great Blue Dini Kool-Aid.
Great Blue Dini? Get
Kablooey.
his ass out of here.
The Babe is a crowd pleaser. says
Remember The Babe?
Weekly, and NBC TV calls it terrific fun.
I do remember the Babe.
John Goodman gives the
Should rename
performance
him
of
John
his
Graydon for his
Babe,
performance.
rated
He's
PG,
so
now
good.
played. Also from Universal. Beethoven is.
Yeah!
Beethoven. I saw this in the theater. I didn't think it was better than Home Alone.
And a lot of fun.
That was David Duchovny getting dragged by Beethoven in that scene.
Theaters everywhere.
Gary Benson is
Siskel and Ebert said Babe was one of the worst movies of the year. That's cool.
Cable and the Discovery Channel. It's your world. But you have to call now for this special offer.
Call
Mom!
We need to get the Discovery Channel, Mom.
Science and Industry.
We need the Museum of Science and Industry access pass. That could have probably is some kid
See
freaking
30
out
days
about
of Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, the Movie Channel, or Disney. Free.
Discovery
Mom, can we get
Cable.
Cinemax?
Now, you know the number.
Hi, Dad.
Where you been?
Jeff's house. New Genesis game. Kid Chameleon. 100 levels. 1,800 screens. Longest I've ever played.
Ah!
Kid Chameleon. Every time I changed helmets, I was someone else.
That's nice, dear.
Skycutter, Cyclops, Juggernaut. I kept transforming. Everybody's saying. Can't. Later, Mom.
What's with him?
He's just having an identity crisis.
New Kid Chameleon, the multiple personality game, only on Sega.
I thought they were gonna cut to him and he was gonna have like a sick head or something.
Yeah.
I feel shortchanged. I don't like this.
I thought the kid was going to be a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Excited fools might point their fingers at people who come in second and shout insults, throw water balloons, or give them strawberries. We here at Video Power know better. And now, so you can know them better, here are our three contestants.
Johnny, does anybody know what he's talking about?
Mark Ren. Mark.
If you tried streaming like this, Twitch would pull the plug on you.
They would send someone to do a wellness check. Jeff Bezos himself. Oh my God, that boy is huge.
Oh my God. Yeah, he is the weightlifting 8-year-old.
God,
I mean, 8th grader.
I'm sorry. He's not an 8th grader. He's a barbarian. What the fuck is this?
He's gonna crush these little kids.
Well, you say that, but he's just a strong man. We don't know if he's a good gamer.
Only to stage a stunning comeback and take all the marbles. But in this case, the marbles are a trophy, a trip.
Middle school gang leader in a shonen manga.
A mammoth stash of college cash. We saw the spark of greatness in each of these three second placers, and hey, we're gonna give them a second chance at getting the goods. Earlier this week, their luck ran out.
The kids look so annoyed.
Yeah, I would be.
Their luck ran out.
Just be like, shut up, let me play DuckTales or whatever.
Never did their guts run out. They never, ever ran out, and they were never out of steam. Right, guys?
Sorry, the kids just seems just alarmed.
I'd want to leave.
Show me your stuff. Show everybody your stuff. On your marks, backs to the screen, please. On your marks, get set, busted!
Looks furious.
Take you into Skate or Die 2.
And then after all that, they make you play Skate or Die 2.
And to the beat of the skateboard, they'll move right along, grabbing as much as they can.
Violet, you enjoying this?
Oh gosh.
Getting a look at the other side.
Yeah, no,
I gotta
there
say,
aren't.
I prefer your show just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Like, no, for real. Like, when we first encountered this as Americans, you know, on YouTube, it was, like, when we first encountered, that influence, it really was, like, it was so refreshing, and we both got extremely jealous because
Yeah.
it was the crap we had.
It was nice, but also I was kind of mad.
Yeah, it's like, we were just like, it could have been this
Like,
good.
what? It was over in the UK, people were putting effort into their video game shows.
They actually interviewed girls. There were women on
As soon as we get into that final mode, they'll know exactly who pulls off this round of play. Here's Alex today.
So looking at this,
That's a great comparison. It is a lot like Computer Chronicles.
it is, yeah, it's much more educational facing. But not like in a public access television sort of way, still in a general entertainment sort of way.
Now he's down below. He can snap out these rats by jumping up on a skateboard. He's done that.
God, some cocaine-fueled madman just throws you around on stage for like 5 minutes, and then they make you play Skate or Die 2. This is like a nightmare.
Mark is looking good. He may pull off this round of play. Let's see if Alex can get in here today. Currently,
Just these poor kids just getting manhandled by Mr. Johnny Arcade.
In case you don't know, Skate or Die 2 is an NES exclusive sequel to a pretty popular PC game. What they did is they turned it into a terrible platformer. It's nothing like Skate or Die 1.
Can he do it in time? Yes, he does.
You know, I know it's trying to be cool for kids, but none of these kids seem in the least bit impressed by the coolness.
Now, without a delay, let's see if we can find a winner. Will it be our man Alex? Still pulling the second according to the judges. Time taken away. Will Mark pull it off in time? Whoa, he's running out of time.
Oh, this was a thing you saw in a lot of kids' shows. Kids screaming a countdown.
Yeah, that was super common. Do kids still scream countdowns?
Kids love it.
Here's the score. Take a look. Mark over here, 180 over here with a kick turn. Nice looking stats over here. Alex,
how would you even rank score in Skater Die 2?
Here's what the judges are looking for: the tacos, the fries, the CDs, and the tapes.
They're judging it by inventory. It's the number of tacos they picked up.
Mark, lights out. Sorry, buddy. Two big winners in this round go to Alex
twisted.
and Jamal. Yes, go for it all.
Good job. All you guys did a great job. You guys, unfortunately, have the highest point totals. You both will be going on to the Video Power Challenge, okay?
The
Now,
third kid's like, do I go? Am I supposed to stay?
Can I leave?
You're not walking away empty-handed, huh? You got some good stuff. You got another pack here. Super C and Double Dragon 3, so walk away a happy man.
Well, one of those is a good game.
I'm sorry, that guy was
Okay,
just
now it's
pulling
time to
poor
see what's
Jamal into
whizzing with the
place to
power
get it.
picks
It's like,
round.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, these kids.
I think they had to film like 10 episodes a day, so at this point he was just throwing kids around, getting them on their
I was
marks.
just gonna say, this kid wrangling really
Don't worry,
sucks.
buddy. I'd like to know, was it like harder
Maybe
the
I
first
just
time,
watched
the
a lot of
second time, third
Nickelodeon,
time, or
but
this
man,
time?
this child wrangling.
Oh, it's always easy for you?
Well, Nickelodeon's professionals. This is Johnny Arcade.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, Nick Arcade is way more coherent and better.
Video Power Challenge champion.
Pretty cool, man.
Pretty cool.
Sorry
Okay,
that this
well,
is
cool,
just
cool,
the
cool, cool,
Video
cool. Let's get
Power,
on with the
like,
power picks round,
dunk
fellas.
station
I've got
right
5
now,
questions here.
but...
The first 2 and the music question are
I gotta
worth
say,
10
this is
points.
not an
The first
unusual
question is
episode.
worth
This is
20
pretty
points.
well
This
representative of the
question
whole
today is
second
worth
season of
the
Video Power.
Punisher. Yeah. Okay, let's get with question number
Kids want the
1. Here we go.
Punisher for NES.
On the moon in DuckTales, you can find a certain woman who will give you ice cream. Yes.
Miss Beakley.
Miss Beakley is correct. And
What a way to phrase that.
Nice. Good going, kid.
A certain woman who will give you ice cream.
Here we go, Alan. Just getting warmed up, right? Yeah.
Her name is
All right,
Mrs.
here we go.
Beakley, damn it.
Number 2 worth also 10 points. In DuckTales, what treasure can you gain if you use your golf swing to hit the Amazon tree trunks?
A diamond.
A diamond is correct. And
Yep. He didn't even have to wait for the multiple choice. This kid's a pro.
Yeah, Jamal. Here we go. Question number 3. Music. Oh, yes. So, Mr. Steve Treekus will hit a tune for you. You name it, and it's 10 points for you. So, hit it there, Treek. A, Little Nemo. B, Little Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
Mega Man 3.
Mega Man 3.
Mega Man.
They didn't even need to say Mega Man 3. This kid's
Yep.
a genius.
Okay, we will accept that. We will accept that. Yes, and for 10
I'm
points.
telling you, Jamal could kick this
I'm
big
putting
guy's ass.
I'm putting all my hopes on Jamal right now.
20 points is what this one is worth. So you got the Well, you looking at my mushrooms? You looking at my pizza? Huh? What do you want? Here we go. In Little Nemo, the Dream Master, who kidnapped the good king of Slumberland?
Jamal hasn't played Little Nemo. I don't think anyone did.
Now, A, the Wicked King of Nightmares. B, the Wicked, yes.
A.
A, the Wicked King of Nightmares is correct. And
Cancel Johnny Arcade? Okay, let's do it. Right now.
Throw him in the
Here we
dumpster.
go. Question number
Jamal has
5
gotten
worth
every
this
question
wonderful
right so
Punisher
far.
pack. Follow me over here. Take a look at the screen. In a few
Mark.
seconds, a game will come up. You name that game, and you get this
Mark's
Punisher.
gonna steal so
hey,
much
Chris Rossi,
lunch money.
is it A? Yes, Al.
Street Fighter 2010?
Street Fighter 2010 is incorrect. Show a little bit
Actually,
more
not a
for
bad
Jamal.
guess.
Is it A,
Actually, not a bad guess.
Batman, B, the
Hey,
Punisher,
Tefly, this is
C,
Video
Flying
Power, all
Warriors.
right?
Oh, yes.
You ever seen this thing?
Flying Warriors is correct.
What a ridiculous
and the
show.
pack is
He knew what Flying Warriors was.
This
Jamal
kid-
knows Culture Brain.
Jamal, if you're not a streamer or making YouTube vids, think about it, because you're very knowledgeable.
Jamal, can we get you on the show?
Yeah.
Jamal is the Power Picks leader.
Yeah, he's brain culture, culture brain.
Clap it up.
Jamal, how's your brain?
Well, we'll be right back with the final power play, which will decide the final contestants for tomorrow's $10,000.
I've noticed that there is a lot of physical contact between him and the kids, even when he's not guiding them onto their marks. He's just...
Yeah.
Video Power will be
Shoving
right
these
back.
kids around is the thing.
Get ready for the hottest new cards in the world.
You didn't see that on Double Dare. You didn't see Mark Summers throw kids around the stage.
A radical redesign with action so big.
Remember when they had ads for baseball cards?
Yes, yes, God, yes. Bring it back. They still have baseball cards, I assume. Yeah.
Chat, do y'all prefer tops or upper deck?
Collecting world upside down.
Do you even know what I'm talking about? I hope you don't.
No one packs excitement.
You don't like Don Russ?
Oh, what about Donruss? The distant third. Oh my god, skip this. Please skip this ad.
Okay, hold on.
We don't need to see the ads about third world countries.
Skipping.
This is another thing about American ads. They would just show ads like this in the middle of your video game program about starving children.
There we go.
And then you have to go back to your video game show like nothing was wrong. It's part of the experience.
Yeah, it's just for the price of a cup of coffee. You're gonna buy coffee instead, Danny? Coffee drinker.
Do you think my feet smell?
I'm sorry.
Do you think, no.
Do not make children smell your feet, you
The other question is, which one of these two gamers will join our 3 winners in
10 seconds ago, children just like you were starving. Now, smell my feet! Smell my feet!
You guys have 1 minute and 1 second on Ninja Gaiden 3. That's what I call a good deal, wouldn't you? So shuffle over to your power modules, champs. Okay, getting to them. Backs to the screens. On your marks. Get set. Let the games begin. Go!
It's the final power play. Now, who will pull it off today? Will it be Jamal? Remember, we're taking you into Ninja Gaiden. Now, earlier in the round of play, Alex took the first round. That means Jamal has got to go for a win in this pressure point. Right
Oh
now,
yeah, Alex won the first round, so whoever wins this one is the big winner, even though Jamal swept the entire trivia segment.
He is busting along in this brand new game. Look at this guy go.
He seems pretty good at this.
He's busting along.
He's gamer.
The score compared to Alex looking at 8,600 now. Let's check in with the score of Alex. He's looking at 88.
Man, they're playing Ninja Gaiden 3.
But look at Jamal. Gotta work. He's up to
He's got to be disoriented for kids. I bet Jamal played Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2.
Up to 9,200. He's busted his way through. Going to the top level.
I bet Alex is a Neo Geo kid.
He'll never make it to the first boss in this round of play, but look at how he gets there in this incredible.
We got the crowd. We got the crowd cheering for Jamal from 30 years in the future. Jamal, we still believe in you.
Jamal is looking at 10,300.
Yeah, this is basically a GDQ. That's what they're doing right now, in case anyone wants to switch over. There's just someone at GDQ throwing around a bunch of
But
kids.
look out for Alex pulling off a big score, 14,010. You know, Alex won the earlier round of play. That means it could be a big victory. Judges call it. Yes, Jamal lights out. Sorry, the big winner in this round, Alex.
Sorry, everybody. Huge upset victory for Alex.
Okay, during commercials, we calculated that just in case if Al did get the 50 points, he would be the winner because in the first round today, he did the best. So this man, say hello.
We just had to change the rules a little bit. Alex wins.
Danny, I'm actually pissed. No, I'm really mad.
He was a weightlifting 8th grader. He was gonna bench press everybody if they didn't let him win.
Don't worry, Terry. It is announcing time.
Yeah, ban Alex.
I gotta tell you, we are full of prizes. Some of those departing guests early will receive a whole pack.
The crowd is furious. I have never seen the chat in such disarray.
Will automatically take away a new PCA.
Yeah, ban Alex.
The Bauer inline skates, an excellent prize for these.
At
big
least he
winners
gets good
today.
games and some
now for you,
inline
a couple of
skates.
Promotional considerations.
And some Hershey syrup, I guess.
Any time is right for Hershey syrup or chocolate milk mix.
Okay, I have something
when you're
really
ready to
stupid
enjoy
to
great
say.
tasting chocolate
I
or
think
strawberry
that I
milk.
know they don't.
So
I don't know if
Hershey's
they sell it anymore, but I swear that Hershey's
It's
syrup
Sega
tastes better when
Genesis,
it's in
leading the 16-bit revolution.
The canned Hershey syrup is really good, right?
Yeah, why
It's
is
like
it better?
sweeter.
Ugh.
That's a life hack right there. Hey,
Crazyland?
here's a fake game. This game was unreleased in the U.S.
To rescue his girlfriend from evil kidnappers. That's
In the UK, they
Crazyland.
released it as Trolls in
Crazy
Crazyland.
man, come on over here. Johnny Arcade, you got 2 big winners. Wow, Jamal, nice job. Hey, we got some great prizes for you. Nothing to worry about.
Welcome, TT.
And
We're
Johnny, what do
watching
you got for 'em?
Video Power, and later
Such
we're
a
gonna
good
watch
sport,
more
Jamal. You
Bad
will receive
Influence.
Batman, Destiny of an Emperor, Heavy Shred, Conquest of the Crystal Palace, and this Typhoon 2 hovercraft. Oh, yeah.
All right, Jamal got a pretty good prize package. Conquest of the Crystal Palace, Batman, fucking Destiny of an
You
Emperor.
were down earlier in the week. You got beat out by a tough opponent. Now you earned your way back into the finals for tomorrow. Any special strategy you'll be using overnight?
Try my best, practice up.
And have fun. That's what it's all about. And we've got something
GLHF.
fun. It's the run. A run through a mall. Now listen, I got a secret prize for you right back here if you find it.
Now, this was
It's
every
Mike
kid's dream
Ditka's,
back then, to go through
Power
this
Football. He designed it
special
right to the screen
prize
himself.
segment at the end of
If you
Video
can't find
Power.
Mike Ditka's Power Football, if you find it, what do we got for him today? Check it out. Johnny Arcade, we got the, whoa, the entire
Okay,
Football
that's
graphics,
pretty
16,
cool.
not a bad
Box is
five.
huge.
You ready to take
It's almost
over
as
your
huge as that
life?
kid.
Bonking that kid on the head. Stop bonking the kids.
At 5.
I'm not saying it's inappropriate. It's more annoying. He's bonking them. He's bopping the kids.
Dark Tetsuya confirms canned Hershey syrup is better. It's true.
Look at this guy grab those prizes. He's been through
This
the
kid's
mall
just
couple
going
times,
through
but he
grabbing
knows
every
what's
single
up.
game in his huge muscular arms.
Yeah, this is unfair. He's so big. He's got more room to hold.
Like a 7-year-old would be able to hold like 3 games.
That's why I'm mad that they change the rules. Ah, he dropped it all. What a no, kid. He's just leaving him behind to go.
He got Mike Ditka.
He's leaving Batman for some. Are you allowed to grab consoles?
Yeah, sure. Anything's up for grabs, as long as you can hold it and stick it to your stupid sticky vest. Johnny Arcade's flipping out.
This could be a record take. Check out Fast Break. Yes.
Bad game.
Oh, there's an episode where the kid just beeline for the Neo Geo Smart.
Good.
Here's a game called boxing. Yeah. Hey, Batman.
Okay, Batman.
All right, there's a good game. There's a bad game. Flicky!
Flicky!
This kid beeline for Flicky.
Another Batman for his friend for the Game Boy. Blobette. A G-Lock for Sega.
Alex, all these games suck ass except for Batman.
A huge system for him to play. Arkista's Ring.
Arkista's Ring.
Could be a new
Let's
record.
go.
Check it out. He gets a secret prize here.
All right, I like Arkista's Ring, but I think Jamal got off with the better prize package. Turbo CDS side. Jamal is our real winner today.
Here comes Dad. This is unbelievable.
Stop tossing stuff at this kid.
They're throwing a bike at him. Johnny Arcade just gonna pick up the bike over his head and leave it, Yakuza style.
Okay, so rumor about the show is the reason they didn't have girls on the show is that they would quite frequently beat the little boys' asses.
Oh man.
And
you can't have that, huh?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Which is so odd because, you know, there were plenty of girls on Nick Arcade.
Yeah?
No one gave a you know.
Nickelodeon was way better about putting girls on their shows.
That's true. That's
Video
very
Power
true.
is just like all boys. All huge weightlifting 8th graders.
Yeah, all weightlifting boys. Listen, these boys better be injecting steroids.
Alex, I am tickled pink that we made Violet Berlin watch this episode at least
I'm
partially.
so sorry.
That is gonna be a big point of pride for me.
Oh, God. 25-bit sneaker nets, massive lag power indeed.
Yeah, sorry, Violet. You had the better show, no question.
Absolutely.
All right, now with that evidence of what we experienced in the U.S., we're going back to the U.K. with a few more episodes of Bad Influence. So let's dial things back, hide the cocaine. We can enjoy these shows normally without any kind of Johnny Arcade influence. It does have a banging theme song, at least.
It does.
And they would just have the actors vamp after the show, and they would just like run around and shit. Just complete chaos, this show.
Just...
Folks, I'm glad our patrons voted for Bad Influence because I could not watch an entire hour of that.
1 second, while I fix this.
Y'all made the right choice with Bad Influence, I think. Someday we will have to watch Series 1 of Video Power, the one with the cartoon. The one that was all Johnny Arcade. There were no kids, there were no announcers. It was just Johnny Arcade in a dark room talking about video games. So we pick up Series 3, Episode 2 of Bad Influence. Show's a couple years old at this point. Let's see what they got.
Your intro. Are the dragons still here? I forgot.
I think in Series 3 they got rid of their dragon personas. The big thing is that they rated games based on a Jurassic scale, so if they got 5 stars, it was a Jurassic 5 out of 5. They moved away from that.
Hey, peace and love, man, and welcome to the groovy Bad Influence, where we'll be looking at the brand new Woodstock CD-ROM.
Yeah, she's the best.
Forward rapidly 25 years, our main review
Thank
this
you,
week
Violet.
is Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES with all the gore beats.
And K2's out.
Hey, far out. And the 3DO finally hits the shops. But has it
3DO.
been worth the wait?
Sorry.
Now be sailing the cyber seas in SIGGRAPH 94, the biggest and best computer graphics show in the world.
This guy gets to go to SIGGRAPH in 94.
You could be
That's
thinking,
so
I wish
sick.
I had a t-shirt like Violet's, or then again, perhaps not. Either way,
Violet, you have
can
nothing
now
to be
design
ashamed
your
of. You
own
just saw
t-shirt
Johnny
transfers
Arcade.
using a home computer and some special new printer paper. Earlier today, I got my camcorder and I grabbed a video still of our Violet the hippie here. We'll just use a simple paint package. We can cut around Violet's head. It's a
Look at
little
that, we
bit
got early
rough around the
Photoshop
edges,
going.
but never mind. There we are. We can take her out like
Yeah,
that.
the lighting in this
And we want
series
to
is
put
different,
her
apparently.
Against a nice background. You can put her.
Oh, I enjoyed a lot of Video Power
So,
as a
now
kid,
every
don't
good
get me
t-shirt
wrong.
Oh, same.
I
has a
watched
phrase or
all
saying
the
on it,
time.
And we can have what would be appropriate.
love, and... Whoops. Peace. We'll make that...
Andy was typing in leet speak.
That.
I bet he uses Linux.
Now, before we print it out, there's something very important that we've got to do. We've got to flip the image round. Why will become clear in a sec. There we go. And then we just print it out. You can use any printer you like, because as I said, it's not the printer that's different, it's the paper. This is the special new heat-sensitive transfer print paper. And the reason we flipped it around before we printed it, well, if you think about it...
It's so nice to be learning about printers.
Isn't it nice to learn about new technology?
I'm not being yelled at.
The kids aren't just being, like, throttled.
Sometimes we trusted with an iron. Violet!
Yeah? What?
Hippies.
He threw shit at Jimi Hendrix.
Hippies are hideous, horrible,
100 bits
hopeless,
from
and
the
disgusting.
Dreamin' Friends
So,
and
to
Love
take
and
my mind off
Peace.
hippies, here's a cheat for Zombies Ate My Neighbours on the SNES. It's a password that lets you jump straight to level 48. Just enter www.
He is the definition of a grotty little man.
Like that. And once you're there, you'll be able to explore the offices of the programmers at LucasArts. Let's have a look who we've got here. Mark Hay Hutchinson. Even more hippies. And now, to spot hippies. Number 1, long hair, often in a stupid ponytail.
Meanwhile, on Reddit.
Number 2, irritating way they say things like, wow, man, and nice one. And number 3, and the most important way to
Did
spot
hippies
a
say
hippie,
nice one in the UK?
smell.
I guess they did.
Wait
I guess
a
they
minute.
did. You learn something new every day.
Wow, man. Nice one.
Right, so the transfer's on the wrong way around,
Come on
you see.
then,
And
hurry
then,
up.
when it's
I'm sorry, that
ironed
got
on,
me.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you peel
yeah.
it off, hang on a sec.
No, let's see it then. Hurry up.
Picture comes out the right way around, you see. Fantastic, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah,
Nice
it's
one.
very handy. Lovely.
I don't think it's that bad, Violet.
Our main review this week is Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES. A year after the release of the original on the much-hyped Mortal Monday, the sequel hits the shops on the Game Gear, the Game Boy, the SNES and the Mega Drive, just in time for the new age rating system on computer games.
Thanks for
to
the
kick in.
100 bits, Cartman.
So, the SNES version
Yeah,
has
pretty
got a
much.
certificate of 15. But for the most part, the gore is no worse than a few red pixels stuck together to represent blood. Mortal Kombat 2 has 7 new characters.
Look at that. Violet's
including
sticking
these
up for the
two,
kids.
Mylena
true, though.
and
It's just a few
There are
pixels
loads
of
new
blood. Who
moves, and
cares?
the animation has been improved to give the fighters a 3D, almost filmic quality. But what's it like to play? Here's Lakesh.
I wish it would have gone full
This is a
bore and
perfect
been like,
conversion
look,
of
adults,
the arcade
this
game.
is just entertainment
It's
for
miles
kids.
better
Let them
than
have
the
fun.
original Mortal Kombat. The graphics and sound in this game are excellent, and the animation is deadly smooth. Here I'm playing as Liu Kang against Shang Tsung. He's a
We didn't mention
shapeshifter,
it
changed
specifically,
to any
but in
character
case
he
it wasn't
wants,
obvious,
using
Bad
any of the
Influence is
different
named
rules he
for
wants.
what
Special moves are quite easy to
what print
activate.
publications
Here,
at the
Shang Tsung
time
just
were
changed into
calling
jabs.
video games.
He's just changed into Katana now.
Various parents groups
And
being
I'm
like,
gonna try
oh,
and-
these
got
these
it.
games, they're
Right.
bad for
The
children.
fatality moves are very hard
So
to
you
pull
might
out,
say that the
but I'm
name
gonna
is
try and get
a bit
got it.
cheeky.
A bit cheeky, yeah, a bit cheeky.
If you don't like the gore and can't stand the fatality moves, you can always do a friendship move. Here's Liu Kang dancing and celebrating Cage's death.
I mean, he's
It's an
right.
outstanding game, and the first beat-em-up which isn't overshadowed by Street Fighter 2.
It's fantastic fun, especially in two-player mode.
It's slick, smooth, and brilliantly gory. It's a touch of genius.
And so the final scores
That
for
guy could
Mortal
be a game
Kombat
reviewer.
2, both the girls and the boys gave it a maximum 5 out of 5.
Boys and girls are equally bloodthirsty. They love MK
Hey,
too.
peace
Fair
and
enough.
love. Now, if your mum and dad are sad old hippies, get them in the room now, because this is for them. You may not know it,
Parents,
but this year marks
idiots,
the
get 'em
25th
in here.
anniversary
I'm pretty sure my
of the
mom
legendary
actually dressed
music
like this at one
festival,
point.
Woodstock. Now, of course, there's books and audio CDs, but now there's the
That's
interactive
really
CD-ROM.
wonderful.
Now,
My
the
mom
disc features all
didn't,
kinds
but
of
my mom
different
was
information.
punk at one point.
And although
That's
you may
cool.
not
Yeah,
have
she
heard
had the
loads of
safety
the
pin
tracks,
through her
it still
ear.
features
Is there a
legendary
weed leaf around there?
I
such
think
as
so.
Roger Daltrey
Nice.
from The Who. The Who? Oh,
Nice
Andy.
one.
And Crosby, Stills and Nash. That's
Crosby,
these
Stills
guys.
and
We've got
Nash.
the bio, the albums, the photos here. Let's have a look at a clip of the movie.
Alex, you got to get this on Multimedia Monday, and then we'll get DMCA'd into the ground.
Yes.
I'm told it's an
For
acquired
Dead in
taste.
Ohio on Multimedia.
One of the other interesting things about this disc is you can go backstage. So here, this is a guy who organised the festival 25 years ago, and he only expected 200,000 people to turn up. So you can imagine how he felt when 500,000 people flooded the site. That's 25 years
That's so
ago.
many people.
That was a lot
This
of
is more
people.
recent. This is nowadays. Hasn't changed much, has he? Once a hippie, always a hippie.
Influences the weed. His video power is the cocaine. It makes
All
sense.
kinds of symbols
Thank you,
with the
Snickernats.
mouth. And all the symbols are icons of the 60s. And you can also get music tracks and videos of the era from the festival.
You can
Play
just
along.
paste Woodstock videos over your shitty MS Paint art. We gotta play this.
Okay, we gotta check this. Oh God.
Make your amateur Gex art and then put Jimi Hendrix over it.
Orlando in Florida is the most popular tourist destination in America, and with good reason. Apart from the occasional thunderstorm, the weather is always good. But I won't be needing these today because I
Orlando folks,
the
can you verify?
graphic show in the world, SIGGRAPH 94.
Orlando folks have been to SIGGRAPH.
Let's go to freaking SIGGRAPH.
You can
I
cruise
wanna
the
go to
information
SIGGRAPH.
superhighways, hang out in hyperspace, and sightsee in silicone. And what sights they were. Although SIGGRAPH is really a serious scientific show, the big thing in '94 was entertainment. Almost every stand has some form of game or ride. This is my favorite. It's called Virtual Adventures, the Loch Ness Expedition. The idea is that you're in the submarine race to save the Loch Ness Monster's eggs. And unlike many virtual worlds, you experience this one as a team.
I have never heard of this. Have you heard of this? This seems like a theme park installation.
It does. This is too.
A demo version of a virtual voyage on the good ship Cutty Sark.
We're saving the Loch Ness Monster's eggs.
Man
You know,
lovers
normal
like
stuff.
me were better off trying out drier sports like
Disney
Formula
Quest,
One
that's what
racing,
this reminds
or
me
Yeah,
of.
it's
Formula
real
One
Disney
racing,
Quest vibes.
or downhill skiing. This is
egg.
Shred. You control
Egg.
this lovable little character with this bodysuit. Now, if you want to go right, you have to twist your body right. If you want to go
Is this
left,
one of the
you
Loch
gotta
Ness
twist
Monster's
left.
eggs?
Then crouch down to get more speed.
No wonder
How
we were
about to
saving
go
him.
for the jump?
Yeah, it's not as I couldn't even get that joke out.
Like
Ugh.
Points for credit.
Attraction. SIGGRAPH can be a zoo. So after a hard morning sightseeing, what could be nicer than a relaxing swim with dolphins? This is a truly passive experience. You do nothing. You just lie there peacefully on a gently moving bed as 3D dolphins dart around you.
I'm in.
You feel their ultrasonic
Wow.
scans
A game where you just lie in bed?
massaging your body as you encounter up to 6.
I want. Wow. Okay.
Drifted away there.
And-
This is
Oh, I want the dolphin bed
sci-fi
game.
full of the weird and the wonderful.
The idea is to create an interaction between a human being and a non-humanoid being.
Whatever.
Actually, there was one really interesting bit of hardware in the edge. It's a chair that supports your body in exactly the position it would be in if you were floating.
When
in
did we
outer
move away
space.
from leisure-based VR where you're sitting or laying down?
Yeah, when do we get all like, oh, we've got to start?
I want the video games to play me.
Yeah, I do too.
Astronauts. You know, it's funny how you meet the same people year after year on vacation.
Now look at this.
You
Look
might
at the
remember
guy
my
behind
friend the
him.
vacuum from
Alex?
last year's SIGGRAPH.
Hello, Z.
Hey, how you doing?
Ah.
To operate them back then, I had to wear a
Sneakernets
bulky
for
and
the
uncomfortable
50 bits.
helmet.
We're
The
going to the
94 version
mattress store.
censors the
Yeah,
active
hottest
movement
VR.
with the sticky, tiny
Get your
dots.
VR at Bed Bath &
Could you
Beyond.
tell me how this works?
Well, Z, you see the dots on my face? Those are reflective
I think this is the
dots
same technology they
that,
used for that
track the
fucked up
movements
Mario
in my
face when they
and
were
those
promoting Mario
movements are picked
64.
up By the camera
so
here in this
too.
helmet. So when I speak, the mouth moves. I can smile. I can frown. And also, I
This
can move
VTuber
my
model
eyebrows
sucks.
and wiggle my ears.
No, this is gonna be my VTuber model.
And
Sorry,
I can
honey.
change the position of the head by using the mouse in any direction I want. Whoa! Anything else you'd like to know?
Yeah. Where are the restrooms?
Hey, you can't film in here.
You can't escape from technology, even in the restroom. This is part of an art and design exhibit, and it's supposed to make you think. There's a similar setup in the ladies' toilet, and you can interact with anyone who happens to be there. And
You told the
graffiti,
ladies
too.
about this, right?
Well, it made me think. No vacation complete without a bit of culture. This is me exploring the Basilica of St. Francis in Assisi.
Oh my god.
This is me admiring the virtual Vatican. This is me at the ancient Egyptian fortress of Buhan. And this is me having my picture painted.
Someday in the
This is
future,
the
all bathrooms will
Imaginiso,
be like that.
Invented by Disney artists to make electronic painting seem more like the real thing. In a normal paint system, the artist has to look at a separate monitor while drawing on a flat pad. The Imaginiso, for the first time, lets the artist work
clever,
directly on the
clever.
picture. He can see his work and his hand at the same time. And so I'd get a virtual souvenir of my holiday at SIGGRAPH.
Wow, good
Being
job,
on
Mickey.
virtual tours has advantages and disadvantages. Perhaps the best thing is that even when you get caught in a virtual thunderstorm, you don't get wet. Unlike in the real Orlando, where in the summer this happens every afternoon. This is Z Wright getting wet for Bad Influence.
I've done a lot worse things for bad influence than get wet, I can tell you.
Yeah, like dress up like a hippie, for instance.
And incidentally, Z will be trying out the first full-scale Loch Ness adventure later on in the series. Now, though, time for this week's news and previews.
Isn't this show good?
I'm sorry.
I love it.
The big
I'm
SNES game
enamored.
this Christmas features the plumber's original arch-enemy, Donkey Kong. Welcome
Yes.
to Donkey Kong
The plumber's
Country,
original
the most
arch-enemy.
spectacular 16-bit
For some
game
reason, they gave him a
ever
game.
produced. It's been rendered on the same kind of machinery which will be used for the Ultra 64, and the graphics will knock your socks off. The game will have around 500 levels if you count all the secret ones. It's due out early December.
If you're a fan of Desert Strike and Jungle Strike, you'll love the sequel due out at the end of this month.
Urban
This is
Strike.
Urban Strike for the Mega Drive. The action takes place in the year 2006 in major cities across America. There are new weapons and tactics, and for the first time in some levels, you can leave your vehicle and carry out attacks on foot. Be giving
I
Urban
didn't know
Strike
that.
a full review in a
Whoa, there's on-foot
Casino.
sequences.
Britain's
And you're
biggest
blowing up a
consumer
casino.
electronics show, Live 94,
Gotta play
begins
Urban
at
Strike.
Earls Court in London on Tuesday. It runs for 6 days, and like last year, will be featuring the latest
You
in audio
forgot all
and
this.
video
That's cool.
hardware and computers and games.
Hello again, slimy furtlers.
It's a good outfit. The
This is
set
my
design people were on
latest
point.
invention, The electronic machine for inverting time, or EMIT for short. It
That's
makes
that Koei
time
game
go
for 3DO.
backwards.
It is! We played this!
He's gonna teach you English through Japanese on 3DO.
Phew, rock and roll time. Anyway, here's a backwards cheat for Virtua Racing on the Mega Drive.
Yeah, I think
On
a
the
lot of
intro
us are dressing up as
screen,
hippies in the
hold
90s.
down A,
Yeah,
B, up,
it was very,
and then when you press
I had
start,
bell bottoms. I wore bell
an
bottoms for
extra
a while
box
in
will
the
appear.
90s.
That's
The
true.
words virtual racing.
Emit, where you
reversed.
go back in time.
Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and then you can race around all the tracks backwards. Hey, and now for another time test.
Alex!
It's fine. Don't worry about it, Danny.
Brilliant.
After more
It's
than a
the
year
horrible
of hype,
eating
the
man.
first 3DO player was launched in the UK last week rather shyly. All the software comes on
Dallas,
CD, but it's not like
salad.
a games machine. It'll also play audio CDs and photo CDs. You can get your snaps put on a CD at most major labs, and then you can do funky things with them like that. You can flip them round and round and round.
Look
and
at that
round.
funky
Yeah.
owl.
Or you could,
Sneakerness, thank you for the 25
zoom
bits.
in if you
Carlos.
wanted to, like that. You'll be able to play movies on CD eventually, but that requires an extra bit of hardware that's not available yet. The big selling point, though, is the
Who
game.
up rotating their owl?
This is a 3DO version of the classic Mega Drive game Road Rash. The game's almost unrecognisable from earlier versions. The graphics
This version
are much
kicks
more
ass,
detailed,
actually.
with a thumping selection of rock tracks from bands like Swerve Driver, Soundgarden, and Therapy.
Another classic that's been given the 3DO treatment, Another World. In the game, you have to guide a young scientist back from parallel universe. The game looks great and the original gameplay is addictive. Another old favourite is FIFA International Soccer. The 3DO version has new camera features that let you zoom in on the pitch. and
3DO
get
looking pretty
many
good at
angles.
this point.
Yeah, they're
Crowd
doing a
sound
good
is
job
amazing.
selling this, really.
This is one of the few original games.
We gotta play
for
out of
3DO.
this
A
world at some
cinematic
point.
monster
We
called
do.
Yeah,
Shockwave.
Magamba, Mikaruba.
It's a futuristic shoot 'em up. Earth has been invaded again, and you're one of the last combat fighters defending the planet.
Although the machines are only available in a few shops, we've decided to start reviewing the games so that at least you can see what they look like. And we're going to start by reviewing the game that comes with the machine, Total Eclipse. As the pilot of a space combat fighter, you
If
are
these
the
games
world's
look good,
last
you
hope
should buy a
against an
3DO, in
invading
my
alien
opinion.
horde.
Also, there's an
Total
ODE
Eclipse
now
has
for
a great
anyone
intro
interested.
sequence
Surface
that's
Game, thank you for the
superbly
50
Thank you for the
bits.
50 bits. I did hear about the Universal Studios
But who
park
cares
being
about the
built in
graphics? What's it like to
Texas.
play?
Alex is hype.
I'm very hyped. It's for children, but
If
you
only
know,
the game was as good as the
I'm a
introduction
balding
sequence,
40-year-old
3DO would have a
man. I
bestseller
can-
on their hands. Unfortunately, it's not even
You can have
close.
your theme park.
You start the
I can
game with
go
a
to
standard
theme park.
weapon. All the way through the game, you can pick up power-ups. There's one there. That's giving me a
Like the
better
theme
weapon
parks
than
for
I
family.
started
Well, I'm a
with.
family of
All
one.
the levels, as you
Here's
can
my
probably
cat.
see, look very much the same. This one's been coloured in white to make it look like ice mountains.
This
But
isn't the Where Did You
gameplay
Learn to
is
Fly
the same all
game.
the
That
way
was
through.
Jaguar. We know
I
this.
expected something a lot better from the 3DO game. It's frankly mediocre.
I was
Whoa.
very disappointed by this. The gameplay is pretty limited.
What a dull game. I got tired of this pretty quickly.
These
And the
3D
scores
graphics would have been
totally
pretty unique at the
flipped.
time, but the
girls
kids
gave
were
it an
not
average
swayed.
3 out of 5,
And
but the boys thought the
yeah,
gameplay
those
let it
are
down.
two
Only
good
2
selling
out of
points
5.
for the
2 out of 5.
Strap on
Wow.
your jetpack for Archer McLean's Drop Zone. This is an old arcade action game which has been revamped for the Game Gear. You play a lone spaceman whose job it is to whiz around the barren moonscape of Io, shooting aliens and saving scientists. Here's Amanda.
This is a really simple game, which is easy to get into and great fun
This
to
one's
play.
kind of unusual. This looks a whole lot like Defender to me, but it's based on a Arthur McLean design. They ported it to Game Gear and NES of all
the levels
things.
look pretty much the same, but that doesn't matter because the gameplay is still there.
And yeah, he recently
Here's
passed
a rain
away
cloud.
too.
I've got to be careful because the rain can actually kill me. There's all sorts of baddies, and you've got to be quite skillful to turn around and shoot at them all, or avoid them. I can put it down. It's cute and addictively playable.
Kicks
It's a nice
the shit out of
straightforward
Total
game
Eclipse.
that works well on the Game Gear.
I couldn't be bothered with this. There just wasn't enough to do for my liking.
And the scores for Drop Zone, the girls gave it
A
an
kid who
average
couldn't be
3 out of
bothered with a
5.
video
The
game.
boys liked it a bit better, 4 out of 5.
Kid, enjoy being a kid. You don't gotta grow up that quick. Enjoy
Hello
Drop
again,
Zone.
slimy furtlers. After a hard day cracking game codes, there's nothing I like better than tending my plants. This one's a Violet, and this one's an Andy. And I'll let you into a little secret. They grow bigger if you talk to them. Come on, little planty-wanties, grow for
I've heard that's true.
Spurt up
It is.
Andy.
You breathe your
spurt out
carbon
Violet.
dioxide all over 'em.
So, while they're growing, here's a cheat for Micro Machines on the Game Gear. It lets you choose tracks you race on. On the title screen.
So I don't think we're gonna
press
see it, but
up
Micro Machines 2
down to
actually
2,
had Violet
left,
Berlin as a character in
2,
it.
2, 2.
Oh,
There we
yes,
go.
it
Race
did!
2.
I remember that.
Desktop. Drop off. Hey. Violet. Bad girl.
Last week's competition prize was a SNES, a Super Game Boy, and 2 games. The question was, which country was Tetris invented? The answer is Russia. Just over 6,000 people entered the competition. But the winner is Timothy Parson-Smith from Berkhamsted in Hertfordshire. Congratulations, Timothy. 10 runners-up will get the Bad Influence T-shirts, the proper ones. Better than sleep, not the ones that I did. Your names are going across the screen now. Well done.
Like that shirt.
That's a shirt I would make.
The competition is to win a 3DO and a game. And the question is, to the nearest minute, how long does it take the light from the sun to reach the Earth? Phone in your answers on 0891
5 seconds.
555
Right?
999. Calls will cost no more than
I'm pretty sure that's
25p.
right.
Yeah, no, it's
And
5
lines will
seconds.
close at
It's,
midnight on Monday.
Yeah, Micro Machines
Make
2
sure
is
you get
good.
permission
5.2
from the
seconds.
person who pays the
There's
phone
worse
bill.
games to be featured in.
As usual, the 10 runners-up will get
8
Bad
minutes?
Influence
Okay.
T-shirts. But remember,
We have people who
you
actually
can't
know.
win if you don't ask permission. Right, that's just about it for this week. Thank you for watching. We'll leave you with the specially shot intro sequence from the new Road Rash on the 3DO.
And did you know, Andy, that it was shot in San Francisco, where the flowers grow?
No, Violet, I didn't. Bye.
Icon. She's an icon.
Icon.
Blab, that's cool.
I mean, depressing thought, but true.
Oh, we have Soundgarden. Wow, this show's got everything. 3DO, Soundgarden, hippies, Rood. Okay, we have skipped forward to, which episode is this?
This would be Season 3, Episode 14.
This is the end of Season 3. After this, we'll have one episode from Season 4. This is approaching the series finale. This is the end of the third series.
Yeah, no data blast.
Black box with wires and knobs. Cameras.
Hello, if you're still having trouble with your Christmas list, later on, Bad Influence will be presenting the Burglar's Guide to 12 Days of Christmas, including these amazing laser guns.
Fighter 2 boxer shorts.
That was a cool noise it made.
This week is the great looking new racing game for the 3DO, The Need for Speed.
And yeah, if the show looks good to you, all 60 some odd episodes are up on YouTube for you to watch. Of varying quality, but they are up there. Magma Ram, thank you for 59 months.
That's a lot of months, thank you.
Almost 5 whole years, by my
It's
math.
a packed show today, and there's more. The term Super Console is a relatively new one, but this is a Super Console that's been around for ages. It's called the Neo Geo, and it lets you play arcade games
The
in your
Neo
home.
Geo and their massive
There are a
cartridges.
couple of problems, though. First of all, it's never been officially available in this country, so you have to get it as an expensive grey import. And secondly, new games cost as much as £200 each. The reason for that...
Sneakernets, thank you for gifting a sub to the Violent Perlit.
They come on the
Nice,
Violet,
thank you.
Enjoy your
mountains
emotes.
with expensive chips inside them. But now there is a new Neo Geo, and we got it in the studio. There were two
A
main
new Neo
differences
Geo.
between
Oh
this
yeah,
and
the
old
CD.
one. First of all, that mountain of expensive chips have been put inside the console. And secondly, the game's
I had
come
one
with
of those.
CD,
It died
so costs
on stream.
It's because it died on stream.
It died a
The
hero's
machine
death.
also comes with this funky rounded controller, which has been specially designed to make
missed
special
that.
moves easier
Cool
to pull
nails.
off in fighting games.
I was gonna say her nails are
Like the
sick.
old machine, it lets you play arcade
A
games
lot of
in
things
your
are
home,
sick in
including
this stream, I
one,
gotta
King
say.
of the Fighters '94. It's a massive game, more than 5 times bigger than Super Street Fighter 2. The fighters have more moves than a mongoose in a shopping bag. And there's a special tag team option
Yeah,
where
okay.
players can choose groups of martial artists to fight all over the world. And if you fancy one in your Christmas stocking, it'll be out by Christmas, costing £399.
Furtlers, what am I? That's
dork.
right. A snow nam. Get it? Hey!
Oh.
You don't want to be going out into all that horrid, cold, fresh air. So, here's a snow tip. Bring your snow indoors and build your snow nam there. I'm waiting for a delivery from Snow to Go. Oh, well, while we're waiting, here's a great cheat for the brand new
I still like him better than Johnny Arcade. I don't care.
No, he is much more. I would much rather deal with him than Johnny.
I would rather have a dinner with Namrood than Johnny Arcade.
Why?
That's because I don't think that Namrood would just like shove me around like a pinball.
He would treat my physical space with respect.
Any of the animal bonus games as many times as he likes. Just watch this. Oh, look at that rhino go! Aha! My snow!
Oh.
There's no business like snow business. Our main review this week is The Need for Speed on the 3DO, a spectacular road racer. Brought to you by the same people who invented Road Rash. It has a similar feel, but with one big difference. You've only got one opponent to race against, although there are other cars on the road.
Yeah, it was the Need for Speed, the first one. They didn't know there would ever be a second one.
Thing, and they sound amazingly realistic. And there never was. It play?
There never was. They went out on top.
It's more of a car driving sim than an arcade action game. The attention to detail is exceptional, but it's not quite as much fun as Road Rash. There are 3 tracks in the game, each divided into 3 sections. This is the Alpine track, which
Now,
has
for what
some
it's worth, this
amazing
game was
scenery.
very well critically
I'm driving the
received.
Ferrari
EGM
here, which
over
is
here
quite
gave
hard
it like
to
8s and
control at
9s.
first.
GamePro gave it all
Although there are
exploding
other cars
heads.
on the road, there's only one opponent in
And it
this
sounds
game.
like this kid's
This
giving it
yellow
a
car's
critical
my
approach,
opponent.
which is
Just
really
overtaking him
interesting.
now.
I love that the kids are critical.
You can pick your opponent's car as well as your own, so you can make things easier.
British
or
kids
harder
are not
yourself.
easily swayed
I'm
by
on form
technology.
today,
They
so
sure
I think I'll give
aren't.
them a Diablo.
That's
Over
because
here,
they
I'd be
all
like,
love
holy
the
shit, a
USA.
3DO!
And
100 out of 100,
crashes, which
1,000
you
out
can
of
watch
1,000.
over and over again from any angle.
100%
and all
from the
that
Ultimo.
distance
Yeah,
to glory.
history's kind of forgotten
This
that
is
Road
the
and
worst
Track
part of the
presented
game.
this game.
As in
Huh?
Yeah,
Road Rash,
just for
the
that
speed
first
cops
game.
are everywhere, and you have to be pretty nippy to avoid getting a ticket, which evidently I'm not. This is a stunning looking game that would certainly benefit from some extra tracks and a 2-player option. I'm looking forward to the sequel.
The level of realism is absolutely amazing. I could happily play this for hours.
This must be the best looking console game in the world. These graphics wouldn't be out of place in an arcade.
And the scores for
He's right for the time.
He's right, yeah. The girls went into overdrive and gave it 5, but the boys stayed in 4th gear.
Wow, girls like better taste in
Everybody's
racing
seen
games.
pictures and films of Vikings marauding. But how do we know what they actually looked like? Well, nobody does, definitely, because there weren't cameras way back then, and it's been a problem that's been confusing historians for over 1,000 years.
Is it a
It's
problem?
puzzle that the York Archaeological Trust have been trying to solve since they set up this place, the Jorvik Viking Centre, 10 years ago.
There's just one problem with modern living. We don't know what the Vikings looked like.
These models of Scandinavian pirates are an artist's impression of how they might have looked, based on wood carvings, sketches scratched on slate, and other bits and pieces that have been dug up over the years.
All right,
But
this
like
place
all
kicks
sketches,
ass.
they weren't
What's with this
perfect.
music?
So what did
I hope they
Vikings
play it
really
while
look
you're
like?
in the place.
Well, some clues could be found in a place like this. This is an archaeological dig.
These are our ancestors. They've been preserved.
A small piece of pottery or even a tiny piece of thread can lead to a major discovery as to what
wonder if
the
the Vikings would have
wore,
been good
ate, or
gamers.
possibly looked like.
They were the original gamers.
1.52.
Archaeologists are like detectives, digging up clues that might be hundreds of years old. These clues have to be pieced together to solve those puzzles. Unfortunately, the only clues they had to solve the mystery of what the Vikings really looked like were skulls and skeletons.
Now this is pretty
The
typical for
scientists in
Series
York are now
3, from
using
what
a
I
new
remember.
technique
At
to
this
try and
point,
put
they
flesh on
pretty
the bone and
pretty well
reveal the
covered the
real
realms of
Viking
VR
face.
and BattleTech.
first step
So they had to
is
go
use
to
a laser
gaming
to scan the
related
skull
stuff,
and build a 3D
like
model
technology that
inside
lets
the
you
computer.
reconstruct skulls.
They then have to
That
match
is
the
pretty
skull
cool,
to a living
though.
person. Now we can tell from the skull and its skeleton the age, sex, height and build of the person that they need to find. In this case, it's a male between 25 and 30, slim build and about my height. So guess what? I'm next for the laser treatment.
Classic pirate. I mean,
Although
Viking.
the laser is very low powered, I've been warned not to look directly at the beam. Once the computer has the
lasering
data
Andy.
from both the skull and my face,
He's
the
undergoing
equivalent points of the
Vikingification.
different faces have to be lined up. So on the left, the face of Andy Crane. On the right, the skull of the unknown Viking. Time for the techies.
Once we've got into the computer, I've got to match up your face with the skull using these 38 points, 10 down the centre and 14 either side. So there we have your face.
Here, Richard is marking the bridge of my nose, so the computer knows.
Yeah,
where
Johnny
it
Arcade
is.
never taught
It's
me about no
reasonably easy
skulls.
working on a whole
Yeah, there are
face,
no.
But then he has
Honestly,
to use his
if Johnny
judgment to
Arcade
estimate
had a
where the
skull,
bridge
he
on the
would
skull's
just
nose would have been.
he would just beat the. I
Once
think
both
he would
sets
just
of
like
points
toss
have
the
been
skulls
locked,
around,
it's over
throw
to the
them
computer
everywhere.
to stretch
Yeah,
my
he would
face
just
over
bash
the Viking
skulls.
skull to recreate Viking Andy.
They've got the
Viking
skull
Andy!
And they've got the photos. So the stage is now set for Lynn the sculptor to build up a finished figure.
All right, let's see.
Lynn
Let's
uses
see
the
Viking
photographs
Andy.
and the skull to sculpt a face which will hopefully
Wow, they
look
got the
like a
teeth and
Viking who
everything.
lived in York over 1,000 years ago. So at last, we can discover what those Scandinavian pirates
That's
really
really
look
gruesome.
So until scientists come up with a time machine technology like this is the only way that you and I in the 20th century can journey back and join Vikings like this guy in the 10th. Isn't that right, Eamon? And they can use the computer information to drive a milling machine which produces a Viking head like this one they've done of me. 1,000-year-old Andy. Can you tell the difference?
Well, yeah, the one on the right's better looking.
Thanks, Violet.
Now for the week's news and previews.
Fucking got him.
Love it.
Take that, Viking
Over at
Andy.
Sonic, a new Mega Drive Megastar is shooting your way. This little chap's called Ristar. He's cool, he's fast, and he's got his very own
Ristar.
platform game due out next year on Mega Drive and Game Gear.
The French programming team that brought you Alone in the Dark have got a new graphic adventure game on the way. Little Big Adventure is the story of a world called Twin Sun, which has been taken
Oh,
over
Little
by
Big
an evil
Adventure.
tyrant called, get this, Dr. Funfrock. You play the hero, Twin Sen, and your quest is to set the oppressed
This is one of those
people
games
free.
that is way
Flash
better
graphics
known
and the
overseas than
promise of
over here.
compelling gameplay
Yeah,
make
yeah,
this one to
Twinsen.
look out for.
Everyone likes a beat 'em up, and Amiga owners will really love this one. It's called Shadow Fighter. It's one of the few beat 'em ups to be developed
Amiga
specifically for
fighting
computer
games.
formats as opposed to consoles. Once you've defeated all challengers, you get to compete against the mighty Shadow Fighter. There's a training level where you get to bash up a puppet opponent. Out next week on Amiga with CD32 versions early next year.
I think we streamed that.
I want to say we streamed that too. Yeah.
Fellas, this snow
The character was
is
named
very
Pupaz.
cold, which brings
Huh.
me to my next snowy tip.
That's a normal
Balls.
name, Danny. Don't worry
Now,
about it.
making snowballs makes your hands very cold. So, I've invented this, a snowball making machine. It's great. It's got 4 different settings in order of hardness of balls. Now, Clint is the hardest.
That's fine.
Guys,
Then
come
Mel,
on. You're not Games
Caroline,
Master.
And finally, the softest, Jeremy. I think I'll set it to Clint balls. Now, it takes a few minutes to warm up, so I'll just get it going and do this next cheat, which is for Streets of Rage 3 on the Mega Drive. Now, fight your way through to Stage 2, Level 1, and you'll come across a character, a little kangaroo called Roo, there you go, with his keeper. Now, kill the keeper and Roo will run away. Then, when you lose a life, you'll be able to continue choosing Roo. Here we go.
You can
as
play
a
as the
new
dang
character to
kangaroo.
fight
Nice.
with. Oh, great, my snowball making machine's warmed up.
Balls made of felt.
Oh no, I should have set it to Jeremy balls.
With only a few
Staff
shopping
just
days
wanted
left
to say
go to
balls
Christmas,
as much
you're
as
Should have
probably
said it to
worrying
Jeremy
about what to
Balls.
buy your favourite fertile.
Should have said it to
Well,
Ed Balls.
fret no more as we present you with the
Ah,
first
Revenant
night
beat me
of
to it.
12 Days of Christmas. Take it away, Andy.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love
I like
gave
this part.
me a
This is why I picked this
cartridge in a
episode.
TV. This is in fact a SNES and TV combined in one handy little case. Sadly, only available in Japan.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 data gloves. This is one
She's
of the newest
dual-wielding.
computer controllers. It lets you command your computer simply by pointing at it. And this is one of the oldest. Believe it or not, it came out 5 years ago for the NES.
and a cartridge in a TV. On the third day of Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, excuse me, Happy Christmas.
Games are votes for the freshest games of 1994 go to Magic Carpet for its original strategy and gameplay, Earthworm Jim for its unusual humour and gameplay, and Donkey Kong Country for its fresh look and gameplay.
They do.
In a TV.
They're under Peter Molyneux's spell.
Day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds. These electronic parrots have got digital tape recorders built inside them, which were triggered by loud noises. Sing, Andy!
You could say curse words to those at KB Toys and get tossed out.
And then they all... Did you get kicked out?
I didn't know.
Oh, good.
My true love gave to me 5 gold wings. Bold pilots should barrel roll over this. US Navy fighter for the PC. 6 planes to fly, but tragically, Graham's crashed the Tomcat.
4 calling
No.
birds.
3 fresh games.
2 data gloves.
And a cartridge in a TV.
Andy's working for this
On
one.
the 6th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 6 guns are blazing. This Christmas, there are guns out for CDI.
I'd be out of
3DO,
breath at this point.
Mega CD, and not forgetting these lock-on guns which use the same technology as Quasar. Trouble is, they're so popular, they're difficult to get hold of in the shops.
Etc., 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 and a cartridge in a TV. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 mice a-squeaking. Lots of mice available on the market this Christmas, including designer mice. A leopard skin.
Designer
or
leopard
cheap,
skin?
whichever takes your fancy.
I like the
Wheels
designer
mouse,
mice.
If you like cars with a
The
pointer
car!
to match. This home
Car
mouse
was a
lets
pointer.
you design your own pointers, like these dancing girls, or this aeroplane. There's an infrared cordless mouse. There's even a mouse that looks like a mouse.
That's only 6.
It's a freaking mouse mouse.
I like mouse mouse.
Aw.
And a cartridge in a TV.
On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 mates are playing. The only 8-player game we could find was Micro Machines 2. So how does it
Can
work?
mates play it?
Well, you plug 2
Mates can
joypads
play.
into the normal
Okay.
ports, 2 into the ports on the J-cart, and 2 players share each joypad.
Etc., 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 and a cartridge in a TV. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love.
It's true, they went all out for this.
9 ladies dancing. This is a program called Click and
Not
Play
just the
for
setup,
PC
but
and
making the,
Click and Play!
but making the presenters run around to all of them. Yeah, click and play.
But Will, you can even blow them up. Take that, Violet.
Ouch! Etc., etc., etc.
And a cartridge in a TV.
Click and play represent.
On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love said to me 10 lemmings leaping. Yes, those lovable creatures with an acute death wish problem are back in all new World of Lemmings on the PC. You have to help 3 tribes of lemmings, Egyptian, Classic, and Shadow, in their attempts to colonize a new homeland.
Etc., 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 and a cartridge in a TV. On the
I want the
11th
cartridge
day
in a
of
TV.
Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 nerds are fertiling. If the sad techie in your life thinks they have everything, give them some glasses like this, guaranteed to amaze the ice and break your friends at parties. All you need now, sir, is a life. I thank you all.
Etc., etc., etc.
And a cartridge
11
in a
nerds of Fertling.
On the 12th
That's
day
our
of
chat.
Christmas, my true love said to me 12 brothers drumming. This is a bit unusual, the miracle keyboard that plugs into a PC or a console.
The miracle piano teacher piano.
Yeah, yeah.
2, 3. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love said to me 12 brothers drumming.
11 nerds are fertling.
10 lemmings leaping.
I'm one of the 11 nerds of
9
Fertling.
ladies
Same.
dancing.
8 mates are playing.
7 mouses squeaking.
6 guns are blazing.
How many takes do you think this took?
I'm hoping 1. I'm hoping only 1 for their sake.
3 fresh games.
2 data gloves.
And a cartridge in a TV.
Damn, Andy. Damn, Violet. Y'all can get it.
Question. How can you
Sensi,
get
right?
22,000 football players into 3.5
That's Sensi.
inches of plastic? Yes. Well, I've no idea, but the program.
It's either Sensi or Kickoff. No, it's Sensi. It's in the. It's got the S in the upper right.
Team in the universe is in here. Phew, I bet it's smelly. Here's Harry.
Oh, you didn't have to.
Sensi review.
You didn't have to do many takes because they were pushing you so hard for scheduling. That makes sense.
More options, improved animation, and a whole new managerial section.
Show required a full set of skills: presentation, running around, singing,
Kid wrangling.
kid wrangling without tossing them around like the
Yeah,
Americans
no,
did.
perfect kid wrangling.
The main feature
the show had to be edited and ready to go the following day. Wow.
If you're not happy with the team,
That is a quick turnaround.
You've got the option as a manager to buy new and better players from around
Oh yeah,
the
this is
world.
all bleeding edge technology, so you'd have to have it out as
12
quickly
days
as
of
possible.
Christmas, and probably 12 months after that.
I can't bother with all the managerial stuff, but I love playing the games. Passing's really easy once you get the hang of it.
This gives me eye strain. I don't see the appeal of the sensible games. The sprites are far too small.
Sensible World
This is
of
the
Soccer
one
full forward
UK kid
for
to
the
not
boys
love
and the girls.
Sensible World of
There's
Soccer.
one.
We found the one.
Another sporting fixture now. This is NBA Jam on the Game Boy. As with the 16-bit versions, all the NBA
And here we
teams are
embarrass the
represented,
Americans
and
with their
every one of the
sports
tiny
game.
players has his own abilities. Isn't technology
Sensible World of
wonderful?
Soccer,
It's
you know, one of the best sports games of all time. Let's see how NBA Jam on Game Boy
The
is.
idea of a basketball game on a Game Boy, but this proved me wrong. It's fast, fun, and surprisingly detailed.
Or maybe
In
it's
fact,
good.
There's just a bit too much detail for a small screen to cope with. There's so much going on, and the action's so fast that you can't play for very long without getting seriously sore eyes. As a fan of NBA Jam on the SNES, I really miss all the brilliant sound effects of the 16-bit version. It's a pity that there's no two-player link-up option, but it's still the best basketball game ever
It
to
doesn't?
appear on Game Boy.
It's an impressive conversion. I can't
That's a
see
pretty
how
apt
the Game Boy
criticism,
could
then.
possibly do better than this.
Forget everything you've ever thought
Get that
about
shit
handheld
outta here.
sports sims. This is speedy and surprisingly playable.
And the miniature NBA Jam gets a funky 4 from the boys and the girls.
NBA Jam on Game Boy. Better than expected.
Furtlers, when you're playing with indoor snow, you'll have to turn your central heating up to compensate for the extra cold. Oh, phew. That's better. And now the bit that I've been looking forward to. In a moment, I'll be showing you how you can enjoy indoor sledging and how to build your very own high-tech super sledge like mine. It's even got a built-in TV to watch while you're waiting for snow and a turbo
Fuck yeah.
thruster for going uphill. Phew.
Is that just a kitty litter pan?
My last cheat, which is for...
Is it?
Damn, Rood, you crazy for this.
On the SNES. On the Vidiot screen, just press LRA,
Making the kids do it, idiots.
BR and X, and you can choose levels.
The kid's already got it bad enough with Ren and Stimpy. You might as well give him a code.
Fair enough.
And here we have level 4. Great. Hey, and now Furtlers.
Sneaker Nets. That was what I felt after watching this series for the first time. Like, man, I rushed home to watch Video Power. Kids in the UK were watching this.
Someone's stolen my snow. But here's a clue. The floor's all wet. It must have been stolen by a wet person.
Last year's competition prize was a Mega Drive with 32X and a game. We asked you, what is the name of the style of painting in this picture? The answer is pointillism. The lucky winner is Luke Fisher from Tiptree in Essex. Well done.
Shout out to the kid who knows about pointillism.
This week's prize is a Wayne's multimedia PC with click and play. The competition question is, what's the actual date of the 12th day of Christmas? If you think you know, give us a call with your answer on 0891 114477. Make a note of our new number. 0891 114477. Call will cost you no more than 25p. Lines will stay open till midnight on Monday. And as ever, get permission from whoever pays the bill before you dial, because you can't win if you don't ask permission, and we always check.
Next week, we'll be having
Yeah,
a
kids.
Christmas special in which we'll be looking at all the hardware for next year, including the PlayStation, the Saturn, and the Ultra 64. We'll leave you now with a clip from one of the first games for the Ultra 64, Killer Instinct.
See you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
This is BS. This is arcade Killer Instinct. It looks nothing like N64 Killer Instinct. But no one really knew that at the time. Man, Killer Instinct arcade was cool, though.
I love their CompuServe email address.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we are, the end of the series. Series 4, Episode 14, the very last episode ever produced. In this one, they changed a couple of things. They added a new presenter. For the first few episodes, they sent Violet overseas to do some reporting over there. I think she may be back at this point, though. And this is how the series turned out.
Hello and Happy New Year from a very special Bad Influence. Not yet sure. This week, we'll be looking at the best and worst of last year.
We've got the best add-ons for the PC, including the virtual guitar.
We'll be looking forward to the top games on all the hot consoles. More importantly, we'll be revealing the worst games on all systems.
Yes!
Our
Star guests, the Shaman, will be explaining how they use the best music computer ever when they record, and we'll have our normal games
Kick
reviews
the bad
this
games'
week with
asses,
some special
Violet.
Celebrity reviewers.
Hi, I'm Nicola Quinton.
And I'm John Adam.
We're going to be reviewing 3 games on the show today.
And one of those is going to be Yoshi's Island on the SNES.
Who are they?
It's Mom and Dad.
Okay.
They're going to be reviewing Yoshi's Island.
If you were lucky enough to get a PC for Christmas, we present the Bad Influence Guide to the best things to do with it. First, here's Violet with the best art package we've ever seen.
It's called
Yosh.
Art Dabbler, and it's been designed for artists rather than techies. So instead of getting a clumsy mouse, you get a pad and a pen, and the screen's been laid out like a painting table. You
Digital
can create paintings
art?
of all kinds of
It'll
styles,
never catch
from
on.
pastel still lives like this to pointless pictures like this one.
Yeah, they're
Now,
probably
I'm no
from like
expert, but
EastEnders or
I'm
something.
gonna have a go at doing a landscape watercolour. Now I've done my preliminary sketch, and I need to put
Oh,
some
Neighbours.
colour in. But
That's
first,
likely
I'm just
too.
gonna put one more thing in
They
the
give
background
Neighbours
here.
vibes.
I'll set my pen to pencil mode, so I should be able to. And that's a bit too bumpy. What I can do.
Alex,
is
you
actually
hear
flip
this?
my pen
Drawing
the other
tablets
way.
for PCs?
I
Just
mean,
rub it
I
out
don't,
and
like
rub
you
it
said, I don't know if
inside.
it'll catch on. But
Yeah, it
fascinating.
seems kind of weird. Seems kind of naff, as they would say.
That should do it. Now I need to pick the paintbrush tool and choose a nice blue and start colouring in the sky. A bit of light blue there and a bit of purple over here for my storm clouds.
She's making it look like one of those
I want
cool jazz
some more
cups.
blue for the river.
Oh yeah, this is real
Now,
solo jazz.
Don't
Yeah,
go
there
away.
you go.
This may look rubbish at the moment, but a bit later on, all will be revealed. It's going to look great by the end. Now, next I want to do my trees, I think. So I'm choosing a green for my trees. I'm leaving gaps there for the shadows of the trees, which I'll put in now with a darker green.
I like how the
Looks
series
less flat.
bookended with different art technologies.
last
At
finishing
first,
touch
it was just like basically
before
drawing
I start
letters and
using my
shapes.
magic technique.
And now look at it.
Okay, the red of the roofs.
That's what 4 years of technological advancement
Good.
gets you.
Now, this is it. Because it's watercolour, I can now choose this droplet of water and start smearing. And as you smear it around, you can see it's all just beginning to look a little bit more authentic, and it's all taking shape.
You know, this
And what's
digital art
really
thing?
nice about this
Maybe
is that as you blend the colours
Maybe
together,
they're
they
onto
can
something
actually
here.
mix as they would in real life.
Maybe this is something.
Start on the yellow now. Just tones it all down a little bit. Also, as you press more, the pad is pressure sensitive. So
Thank
the
you,
more
Ultimo, for the
press, the more
100
water
bits.
goes on. It's the same
If
with any
only.
of the tools. If you're doing the paint, the more harder you press, the more paint goes on. If you're doing the pencil, it's the same thing. So it really is
Oh,
like
so it has
painting
pressure
the real thing.
sensitivity too. Nice.
Excellent. Now, I'm nearly finished. You can see I've obscured this fence, and I'm going to put the fence in. So back to my
Pretty
normal
good for having to
paint,
do this
choosing
for a
a
live
nice
recording
brown.
on stage.
What I want to do here,
Surrounded
is
by
try and get
dozens
the
of
texture
kids.
of wood. So I'm just scrawling.
Oh, it's
But
Dabbler.
once I apply
Okay.
the water,
Oh,
you'll see
okay.
that it'll look like quite a rickety wooden fence. So
I like the
water,
soundscape too. I want to hang out on the Bad
little bit of
Influence
that,
soundstage.
little bit of water works wonders.
Just kids playing
Voila.
Joe and Mac all
Not
day.
bad for someone who failed art at school.
Oh no, it's Aerosmith!
It is. Oh, I know this. We know this game.
Oh my god.
This is the best fun music package we've had to go on. It's called Virtual Guitar, and it's for budding rock
Music
stars
is the
or
weapon,
jazz
but this is
musicians.
not
Okay,
Revolution
great
X.
session, guys. Everybody take 5. Now, the original version came with a virtual guitar, as demonstrated by the lovely Sonia here, but the new updated version has a virtual pick, which kind of makes the guitar a bit redundant, really, Sonia. And
Yep, it
let's
just
face
came with a
you and the
pick,
band
and you
were
could
going
use
in
any
different
physical
directions
object to
musically.
pick with it.
So, yeah. This is how it works.
You really did draw that. That's amazing. This show is so technically demanding of everyone on it.
Every time the pick hits
Yeah,
the tennis
like-
racket, it sends a signal to the computer
And
which
everyone's
plays the right
doing
notes.
something other than just throwing kids
Which is
around
kinda
and
useful, 'cause
buzzing
I
for
have
the
no musical
camera.
ability at all I have to do is keep in rhythm with the band.
We got to return to
I
this
do that
game at some
by
point.
hitting
If
the
Aerosmith
chords.
wasn't an instant DMCA deletion.
Every time this red line passes over a green peak. Of course, if I get it wrong, which I do quite often, the band
This
get ever
worked,
so upset.
sort of. I have the pick peripheral for PS1.
I thought they were my
And,
showbiz
that seemed to
friends.
work
The CD-ROM
okay. It
that
was just
comes
an
with it is
input.
called Quest for Fame, and it's designed as a game where you have to work your way up to rock superstardom.
Sneakernet's
When you've
glad we
mastered a few
finally
songs, your agent
convinced
books you a
you.
gig at a local club. If you get a good reaction from the fans there, you can go on to jam with a rather strange-looking blues band.
Oh yeah, the weird
Final
jazz
crowning
band from
moment of
Cool
your
World.
career is to appear on stage at the Humonga Dome with old and hairy American rockers Aerosmith in front
I wonder
of
if we can get away with
thousands of
streaming the
screaming fans.
Japanese equivalent Stolen Song
It really is
featuring
great fun, and
Tomoyasu
because it's a
Hote.
virtual pit, you can play it anywhere. On your leg,
Don't forget to say
play
your
it on
name.
Violet's earlobe. Oh,
Don't play on Violet's
violence
earlobe.
and mayhem. That reminds me. Here's Sonia with the best gore game for the PC.
And of course, it's Doom. But there's a great
Gore
game
game,
nowadays
Alex.
for link-up
Oh,
games. The
gore.
best way to play Doom is against other
Doom
players.
is also a door
Up to
game,
4
if you think
PCs
about
can be linked
it.
together to
There's
play
BBS
Doom as
door
a deathmatch.
games.
And each player has their own colour. And you can see Victoria's grey character in Mr. C's screen just there. And Mr. C's green character in Victoria's screen. And the aim of the game is simply to kill your opponent more times than they can kill you. So grab that shotgun and go.
And finally, here's Violet with the worst ever CD-ROM for the PC.
Yes.
It's called Karaoke Shakespeare. It was a feeble attempt to bring interactive theatre to the home.
What?
The idea was the computer puts all the words up on screen and then reads them out, except for your part, because you can then become the techno-lovey and perform the words yourself.
Anyone
Now,
heard of
I'm gonna
this?
Have a go at being the
Holy
second witch
shit.
in the famous witch scene from Macbeth. Here goes.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done. Come on. When the battle's lost and won. Look, there's a spelling mistake. It should be W-O-N, not
Oh,
O-N.
that's so funny.
Like the programmers recorded the voices themselves and recorded it in a toilet, come to that, which is where this CD-ROM should be flushed.
Yeah! Oh man, yeah, flush
Oh,
it!
I love that toilet.
Always have a
Today's
toilet
reviews are
beside your
slightly
gaming
unusual.
PC so you can
Instead
flush
of
any
looking
game.
at this week's releases, our celebrity review panel will be trying out some of this year's hot titles. First up is Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo, which is the eagerly anticipated sequel to the classic Super Mario World. You control Mario's dinosaur sidekick Yoshi in a bid to save the infant Luigi from villainous
I hope the kids
wizard
just
Hammond.
completely ruin this game in
The
their
game features
reviews.
gorgeous, colourful graphics, a range of imaginative baddies,
It's a
and
game for
all the
babies.
delightful oddities you've come
Literal
to expect from a
babies.
Mario title.
Literal babies.
Here's Nicola Quilter and John Adam, otherwise known as Donham and Luke from Home and Away.
Home and Away.
It's been 2
Home and Away.
years since the last Mario.
Anyone
game.
want to tell me what
Definitely
Home and
worth
Away
the
is?
wait.
I think so.
Yoshi has to make his way through 6 worlds with Mario on his back. Each world has 8 areas.
Congrats to
You'll
Yoshi's
find a
Island,
host
Gore Game of the
coins
Year.
and other items, and if you find them all, you get to
Home and
enter the
Away is a
bonus
soap.
area.
Yoshi has more weapons than
Australian
any other
soap
Mario
opera.
game.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
so
great
it's
'cause
similar
tons
to
of baddies for the
Neighbors.
kill. He has a big
Or in
tongue
the
which
same
he can
genre,
whip
at
out,
least.
So
grab other
Neighbors was
enemies,
close. Okay.
swallow and make into eggs to fire at other enemies.
There are some really cool power-ups which allow Yoshi to change from a dinosaur into a tank, a helicopter, and what's the other one? Oh, yeah, a train.
Wow.
This game
There's a
is real
glitch
cool,
that was on
right? And it
Twitter
proves that
recently
16-bit
that shows
systems
a
are
part.
still alive.
You can glitch the game so that
This
Yoshi
game's
eats
got it all.
Mario.
Fantastic graphics
wow,
and great
really?
And then
gameplay.
once the baby's eaten, you can't
And the
beat the level or
celebrity
anything. The
scores for
game's
Yoshi's
just
Island,
over.
Both Nicola and John gave it a resounding 5.
Alright, they liked it, I guess.
That's fair.
And Yoshi's Island should be out by the end
I
of
would
the
have loved
month.
to see the celebs. Like, I
Actually,
don't like video
1996
games.
promises to be an exciting year
Not
for
a fan.
video games. PC owners will be salivating at the prospect of the stunning HMS Carnage, a game set on Mars and featuring strange, steam-driven spacecraft.
Is that real?
The impressive
That come out?
racing simulator
That's a
Formula
fake
1
game.
Grand Prix
Okay.
2 is out at the end of the month, and Saturn owners will be looking forward to slick, futuristic racer
Did this come
Vertigo,
out?
and
Not under the name
Legend of
Vertigo.
Fighting
That was called
Vipers,
Cyber Speedway
brand
or
new
something.
arcade beat-em-up from the team behind Virtua Fighter 2.
Scorcher, yeah, that's what that
On the
was.
PlayStation, the stunning atmospheric adventure Alien Trilogy will be clamouring for your attention, together with Tekken 2, the sequel to the best beat-em-up ever.
They love Tekken over
then,
there.
of course,
And look at that, it's Beta Mario
Some
64.
of its most promising games are updates of classic SNES
Cursed
titles,
Mario
like the
64
stunningly
footage.
3D Mario 64, and perhaps the most wanted of all,
Cursed
the
Mario Kart
four-player
64
Super
beta
Mario
footage.
Kart R.
That's when they still
So,
had Magic
something to
Koopa
look
in it.
forward to. Not yet.
Not yet, but soon. This is an Atari ST, one of the first 16-bit computers. As we're doing the best and worst this week, we thought we might do the best and worst uses of an Atari ST. The worst use certainly has to be as a home games machine. There are very few good games for it.
Wow.
The best use of it, though, is
Get
as a
dunked
music
on.
computer because it has a special musical interface called MIDI built in. The Shaman are well known for using computers in their music. Victoria's here to tell us how and why. Welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I recognise the Atari, but what else have you got up here?
Well, what we've got is this is our conductor and this is our orchestra. We've got a couple of samplers, and one of the things
Shaman
that's
is
really
here.
good about a sampler
Nice.
is that
Well, that's your voice.
That's my voice. But if we go into the program...
So that's a sample of your
She's
voice.
making a YouTube poop.
That has been changed rhythmically. So
Yeah, I love her hairstyle.
It's just doing a little rhythmic thing. One of the other things that's great about MIDI sequencing is, let's just say, for instance, that we want to change something on the piano riff. Previously, it was changing 16 beats per measure, which doesn't necessarily sound very good for our purposes.
No, put it back the way it was.
Yes,
Like that
okay,
at all.
all right.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
And it's
There we
back to
are,
normal.
Back to normal. Okay, so show me the bit where you have that little keyboard and you can move all the notes around.
She was part of Soul to Soul, huh?
Let's say that we want to look at the piano riff that we just played, right? Which is, we go into Edit, go into Key, and lo and behold, the computer shows you everything that's being played. And these are all the notes that the computer is playing. And then you have a little miniature keyboard right there that tells you what notes are actually being played.
Doesn't it make the music sound like a bit robotic and sort of similar and samey using a computer?
Well, and you have to say that earlier on, one of the problems with technologically produced music, as the shaman like to call it, is the fact that it sounded so perfect that it didn't sound human.
Yeah.
With some of the newer, more advanced programs, and just like I just showed you there, you can just fine-tune it ever so slightly so it doesn't sound so perfect.
Well, your single is great, the new single, and if you want to check that out, join us at the end of the programme because the Shaman are playing us out. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
The fight to put humanity in techno music.
And in fact, last year was the
On
10th
Amiga
anniversary
computer.
of the Atari ST.
Did not
It was
know
also a
that
very
Atari
important
ST
year for
was
video
using
games
on
with the coming of the
person's
super consoles.
Thank you
Here's
for
a
the
Bad
bits.
Influence guide to the highs and lows of 1995.
January. The year kicks off with glitz and glamour at the Computer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, where the Virtual Boy is unveiled. Increasingly ever-growing amounts of hardware designed to make you look stupid. New super kit carts like
Even they knew back then.
Fighter and Starwing 2 make their first appearance. Mysteriously, none of them have been seen since.
February,
Whoa, and they
video
commented
games
on the
go to
disappearance of Star
Parliament.
Fox 2.
After 6 months research into whether or not games are
These
overpriced,
guys are fucking
the
savvy.
investigation concludes, yes, they are. How helpful and useful.
March and the European Computer Trade Show hits London. Most people get their first glimpse of the Saturn. Of course, we had it on Bad Influence 4 months earlier. And Heart of Darkness, a new PC adventure with stunning graphics and cartoon gameplay, is seen for the first time.
That game was in development
April.
forever.
Nothing at all happens in April. Zippo, zilch, zero.
Things
Yeah, that's
pick
when
up
gaming
in May,
takes a
however,
month
with
off
the first
in April.
appearance of M2, a new add-on cartridge.
Fake M2 game.
It features game demos like this with graphics to cry for.
That's so
and
fake.
Techies reveal why girls like Tetris. Apparently, when we play, our brains release huge amounts of endorphins, the natural chemical responsible for passion. These, mixed with the female's supposed craving for organisation, make Tetris a big hit with the girls. It must be true. The
sounds
science
logic.
dudes say so.
In June, The Darkening, the newest and most expensive sci-fi game ever, begins filming at Pinewood Studios in England. The game costs an amazing £4 million to make, not to buy.
Big news in China in July, the SNES launches. Over here, the first super console,
Who
the
was
Saturn,
that?
appears in the shops. However, non-techies are reduced to tears when they discover that with the lead supplied, it'll only work on TVs with SCART sockets. Supplies of the leads for ordinary TVs dry up quicker than a puppy on the backseat of a Peugeot.
August. Doom playing is banned in offices all over the world, and the term cyberskyver is coined to describe people who spend too much time playing games at work.
September and the most important week
Busy
of the
year.
whole video games year. Bad Influence starts. Oh, and in London, there's some new console called the PlayStation, launched with tons of new games. Apparently, they offload about £9 million worth of the things in 3 days. And despite all
It's a
our
fad.
Bad Influence review warnings, Primal Rage tops the games charts. File it in the bin.
October, Killer Instinct is cancelled for the Ultra 64, but amazingly comes out on the SNES.
November, and the Ultra 64 fails to get launched in Japan. It slipped more times than a tap-dancing centipede on a banana skin. However, Bad Influence is treated to a preview of the machine in Tokyo.
More fake Mario.
Top games for the console are scarce, but crowds are amazed by the, well, amazing Super Mario 64.
God, that's so weird looking.
And finally, it's Christmas.
Blondie Mario
and Virtua
64.
Cop, the 3D Gangster Blaster on the Saturn, is just one of the top games vying for your cash. Others are the incredible-looking Star Wars game, Rebel Assault 2 on PC, and the worm-tastic mate, Earthworm Jim 2 on Mega Drive and SNES. Youch! What a year.
Except for Earthworm Jim, pretty good year.
Now!
So what's juggling got to do with computers? Well, this is Juggling Master, one of many programs available to help professional jugglers like Sean invent new ways to juggle.
Juggling
You type in
Master!
numbers to represent patterns, and the computer shows you what they will look like.
Guitar
Now,
Hero
this
for
is the simplest
jugglers!
pattern of all.
Hey!
It's a 3-ball cascade, and as you can see, Sean's doing it rather well. But the real aim of the game is to try much harder patterns like this one, the 7-ball cascade, so you can see
Whoa.
what it looks like. And this is actually quite hard
Impossible.
to do, but Sean's going to give it a go.
Whoa!
Okay.
Yeah!
Alex, can you do that?
Impressive.
Can you learn to do that for next week's stream?
No, you?
Absolutely
like
not.
this one, which we've decided to call Sean's mess because it involves low balls and high balls, very complicated.
Balls and high balls.
And he's doing it. Now that pattern's not been tried before, has it, Sean?
Oh yeah, there's hacks
Well,
from
it
Mario
has, but we
64
worked
that
it out
restore that
using the
old
notation
content
on the
and make it
computer,
playable.
And it turned
I
out
gotta
with
check
this
that out.
beautiful pattern.
It's great. Of course, the computer can come up with patterns that are theoretically
This is activating
possible,
Alex's
but
gesture
physically
cortex.
unlikely.
Sorry, I'm
Like
just
this one,
I'm
the
just like,
35-ball cascade.
can we do
Let's
this?
try that one, Sean?
I want to do that.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. I've been practicing with one ball, and it's dead easy. And now with some more reviews of this year's games, our celebrity reviewers.
Ridge Racer Revolution.
Ridge Racer Revolution is, surprise, surprise, the follow-up to the renowned Ridge Racer. It features more high-speed racing action with the addition of a rear-view mirror and some spectacular new tracks. The game also has a link-up option, allowing
Gaming's
for some
looking pretty good at
frantic
this
two-player
point.
duels
This is a
on
year into the
PlayStation, another
PlayStation.
TV,
Got all
and
sorts of new
another copy of the
consoles
game,
coming
that
out.
is.
There's juggling software.
I just don't know any other kids program that would have taught you about MIDI like this.
Yeah.
Until you get the hang
At
of the
this point,
controls.
GamePro was
Once you
dead.
work out how to
GamePro
take
never
the
got a
corners,
chance to cover
it's a really
PlayStation on
spectacular
GamePro
round.
TV.
It's
Before you
just
get to
so
drive
interesting
the
because it's like a game
seat,
show, but
the
it's really
track
more of a
and the
tech
car.
show for kids.
There are 3 tracks and 4
Yeah, it's less
cars to
designed
start
around
with.
pushing
The
products,
more
though
you
there is
play
that
the
part of
level,
it.
the more you win,
There is an
or if you
educational
cheat.
component.
I really think the
This
Computer
is the hardest track in the
Chronicles,
game, speeding through all these hairpin turns and narrow, windy roads. It takes a lot of concentration, Nicola. The other drivers are really aggressive, so the rear view mirror is especially useful so that you can block them from overtaking you. Yeah, you can view the race.
I do
from
miss the kids
inside or
reviewing the
outside car,
games.
but I prefer
They had to
being
get some
inside.
star power for this
Sensation
one.
speed
I get it.
I bet it was the
One of the
network.
things I don't like about this is when you hit something, like another car, concrete wall, even a grass verge,
Yeah, it's one of the
you just
only,
bounce
like,
off no matter how fast you're
shows
going.
about games
What
where
really
they'll actually
makes the
say
game is a
games suck
two-player mode.
fast.
Humans are always
Nice.
the most competitive opponents.
Alfred
And
Chicken,
being
one
a
of the worst
friend in the
platformers
fight
I've
like
ever
that really
played.
gets the adrenaline going.
Says
When you
an
finish all the
8-year-old.
tracks in first place,
Which is
you
even
get to
more
race them
insulting when it's an
backwards like we're doing
8-year-old.
here. Your opponents are a lot tougher in this mode, especially in time trial, while the ultra-fast Black Devil car makes an appearance.
Racing through spectacular scenery at immense speeds is really appealing. The game is good.
It's a great racing game, especially for 2 people.
And the celebrity
It's almost
scores
as
for
good as
Ridge
being an
Racer
Australian
Revolution.
TV star.
Amazingly, 5s again.
Ready, go!
BF2 on Saturn. Let's go.
Virtual
What a
Fighter 2
what a
is the most
fucking
wanted
time,
video
man.
game in history, with orders of over
We're
1.5
done with that Alfred
million
Chicken
in Japan
bullshit.
alone. There are 10 fighters to choose from, including a teenage kung fu master and a rather unsteady 83-year-old. Each fighter has over 100 moves, and the 3D animations are fluid and spectacular.
It was classified as a factual entertainment show and had a public service
First thing you
rating.
notice
I
about this
see.
game is
Okay,
its
so
speed.
you had to
It moves
be-
That was a good
twice as
strategy
fast as
then.
Virtual Fighter,
I did not.
and it looks a lot better.
That makes sense
All
for
the
the
fighters'
gender
moves are
equity
controlled by
stuff
just
too.
using 3
Okay.
buttons, block,
Okay.
punch, and kick, which makes the game really easy to get into.
It makes the show
And
a lot
fighting
better,
is
though. I
really
gotta
realistic, using real
say.
punches
If
and
only
kicks
Johnny
rather
Arcade
than
got that PBS
unrealistic
funding.
fireballs and teleports.
Each character has their own fighting style, and I'm fighting against Wolf with my favourite character, Shun. Shun is, Shun
Oh,
has
these
made
guys
a
big
rather-
VF heads?
he's got a rather odd method
They
of
still play
fighting,
Final
which
Showdown,
involves
do you think?
swinging from a bottle
I
in
think
his
so.
belt and falling over a lot. He's quite fit for his age, and he can fight standing on his hands, or when the going gets a bit rough, he can fight from a sitting position.
That is an
Dang, well
that's
done.
impressive
Like
ratings.
the way
Wow.
fighters' heads follow their opponents' movements. I especially like the way you enter your name in the high score chart in ranking mode by beating up the letters.
The graphics are great, the action is fast, and the characters are really entertaining.
It's the best beat 'em up I've ever seen.
I
And the
don't know what
celebrity
channel
scores
is
for
it. This
Virtual
one
Fighter
ITV?
2.
Okay.
You're never going to believe this. 5s!
Best year of gaming ever.
Virtua Fighter 2 should be out later this month. You'll have to wait a little bit longer for Ridge Racer Revolution. By the way, thanks to John and Nicola for taking time out for their pantomimes to review those games for us. Nicola's in Cinderella at Stockport, and John's in Beauty and the Beast in Ashton-under-Lyne. And speaking
Hey,
of
there's
Beast,
Shaq Fu.
What about the worst games? What about the turkeys?
Hey, there's
We now
Shaq Fu.
present
Are they
a bad
gonna talk
influence
about
guide
Shaq
to the
Fu?
worst games games for all systems.
Although they may not have been out for long, the Super Consoles have already got their fair share of stinkers. Digital pinball on the Saturn smells worse than a sweaty salmon.
Excuse you!
The bin beckons. And
I
Street
respectfully
Fighter the movie
disagree.
on the PlayStation is pretty putrid too. These black CDs may look great, but this one's better off in pieces.
Yeah! Yeah!
Get its ass.
Want a good racing game for the Jaguar? Then don't even think about Checkered Flag. You'd be a laughing stock if you bought this rancid race.
Will it blend? Oh my god!
Flag will blend.
Demolition Man was a 3DO booby prize, a dreadfully dull shoot 'em up. Into the acid rain, back with you.
And if you haven't got a Super Console, never fear, there are some turkeys lurking around on the old systems too. What about the positively putrid rise of the robots on the SNES?
Yes! Kill it!
Then
Toilet
there's
time.
the worst Mega Drive game for ages. The bandwagon jumping, dreadful beat 'em up. Shaq Fu.
Yeah!
One thing to do with games like that.
Blow 'em up!
That's it for this show and this series. We end with the Shaman playing their new single, Heal the Separation. Goodbye.
See ya.
Look out for the outtakes. Bye-bye.
And we finish up with some outtakes. What a show. What a freaking show. They blew up Shaq Fu at the end.
They blew
What a
up
way to
Shaq
go
Fu.
out. They flushed Rise of the Robots down the toilet and blew up Shaq Fu. Infinite respect.
And they had a prop toilet, so good.
Incredible run. And you blended a Jaguar game. So good.
We need to blend more games. You know we have a pretty good food processor.
I think we should watch through all 60 episodes of Bad Influence and try to take influence from it, by which I mean steal their ideas.
I think that's a good idea, to steal ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blender technology has advanced greatly these days. I bet we can blend up a whole NES cartridge nowadays. Hell, we can blend up a whole NES.
Yeah, Bad Influence, genuinely good. Yeah, everything below the Bubsy line, we're just gonna straight up flush from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Danny would be Violet, I'd be Danny.
You're gonna let me be Violet?
Yeah, you're the lucky one.
Aw, that's nice of you. What a show. Once again, just want to remind you, every episode of this is up on YouTube. Highly recommend watching it. Very highly recommended. It's so strange that a show aimed at kids that actually had an educational grant is so... It has such a unique angle on covering video games that it's an interesting watch nowadays.
Yeah, it's held up so much better than a lot of other kid shows, especially a lot of other video game shows. Yeah, go marathon it on YouTube.
She punched out the cameraman!
Oh God!
Whoa, they got goats gone loose.
Oh, ow!
It was an action-packed set.
There's the hand glove, and oh look, there's the paintbrush.
And there's a dog here.
Yep. So that's one for Dennis Norden.
Andy fell in the trapdoor.
Trapdoor, just like on L.
He fell in the Alf trapdoor. Well, that is a basic overview of the kids' British television show Bad Influence. A show about video games that is not Video Power. It's not Game Pro TV. It's its own thing. And once again, do recommend checking out the whole series if that looked interesting to you. Big thanks to the Violent Berlin for checking us out and hanging out here. Your show is really cool. I like it a lot.
Yes, thank you so much for showing up.
All right, we're done here.
We're done.
That's it. That is the end of the show. That is the end of Retro Pals. We saw Bad Influence did everything better 30 years ago, so why continue? This is the last episode. Well, I guess we can continue with a couple more.
A few more.
Thanks to our patrons for making this week's show happen. Y'all voted for Bad Influence, and thank fuck for that, because
Thank you.
I don't know if I could have stood 2 hours of Video Power. It might have actually killed me. It might actually have. If you want to join in the fun, go to patreon.com/retropals. If you're at the $5 tier, you get to vote for what we play every Wednesday. This time around, we did video stuff. We watch videos sometimes. We do strange stuff. We do weird games mostly, so please consider supporting us. Alex, wrap us up. I'm going to look for Raid Target.
We are also on YouTube, youtube.com/retropals. We post highlights of our streams there, including our latest one, which it's a look at Flash games, isn't it?
It is, it is.
It is. It's a Flash games based on movies. I highly recommend it. We play stuff like The Tale of Despero. We play some Charlotte's Web's games. And, yeah, also follow Violet Berlin. Follow Violet.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are also on Discord. Let me just put the Discord link in the chat here. Boom. You can join us there to find out when we go live, when we've got stuff going on, cat pics, a lot of cat pics. And just general good discussion. So yeah, come on in. Come join us if you like.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Folks, our friend Gamma Chris is playing Mega Man X4, one of the best Mega Mans in my estimation. So go say hi to him. Go have a good rest of your evening. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
See ya, folks.